Oh no!
No!
Hey!
Hey guys, and welcome back to our Schmoedown reactions right here on Dedicated Art. I'm your host today, Chris Doman. As you can clearly see, I still have Nico Rigoli and Case Cornelius with me. But Case, you've been feeling a little under the weather last couple days, so you just asked me to take the reins today, which I happily obliged. And so we have a double header, and quite a big one at that. So we have the Inner Geekdom debut of longtime competitor Winston Marshall, who we've seen him compete in teams across the last couple of years as part of the, I guess, now split up the world's finest.
The jury's still out.
The jury's still out on that one. And then we also have Emily the Rose Jacobsen, complete unknown. I do not know who she is, but she does have the look of a geek about her, so I got the feeling she might perform pretty well. But actually, before we get to the main course, Nico, do you have any thoughts on this appetizer before the main event, or?
Okay, so obviously we don't know anything about Emily. That said, we do know a lot about Winston, and he had a pretty strong start to last year, then kind of fell off towards the end. And then since this year started, since 2019 started, he's kind of been back on point. He did pretty well for himself in the Black Movie Trivia Schmoedown exhibition, and he and Eric Zipper did very well against Corruption in their most recent teams match. But we know that both Winston and Zipper, they thrive in the Inner Geekdom setting. And so I feel like this is Winston's time to get back in the win column, if there were ever a time.
Fair enough. Case.
I don't really know Winston's knowledge in geek stuff. I know he knows comic book movies, but yeah, that's only 2 categories, to be fair, or 4 if you really want to split up the universes. But yeah, there's still Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and a couple of other extra movies in there that I don't know if he knows those that well. So we'll see. And yeah, as you've said, I have a cold, and it's not been getting better. And that's why, I am still able to talk, but I don't feel like I would be able to host this thing for the entire runtime. So thank you for taking over.
Absolutely, not a problem. As we now get into, in the words of Jeff Goldblum from the MCU film Thor Ragnarok, as the Grandmaster, it's main event time. As we finally have the Shirewolves, the current team champions, with a record of 5-0, and I believe 2 knockouts or just one or the other, something like that, taking on critically acclaimed 4-1 with 4 knockouts. Every single victory they've had was by TKO. Honestly, 2 of the best teams in the league. Now, Case, give me your argument as to why you have gone on record saying that critically acclaimed will pull out the win of what will surely be a tough match.
Look, I just think they're more knowledgeable. Pure knowledge. Whitney and Bibbs are more knowledgeable about movies than Rachel and Clark. That's not to say that Rachel and Clark aren't. No, they definitely are. They have shown that. There's a reason that they are the team champs, and they've defended that belt. So this will be hopefully a very high-scoring match that'll go down to the last question. And it's just something that I think everyone has been waiting for. I think that everyone expected critically acclaimed to get here. Maybe a little earlier than some people wanted, but hey, they finally got here. And yeah, 4-1 with 4 knockouts. That is a huge record. It's just the question, will they be able to do well in the title match setting with the extra two rounds? I don't really know about that, but I do know that Whitney and Bibbs they score points because they know so much. So I'm very much looking forward to the match. I think Critically Acclaimed will win, but if I won't be surprised if the Shirewolves win. I've seen them win time and time again, and I've seen them win in the last 2 title matches. So I'm like, yeah, by now you should be kind of getting used to that. um, but they do have a very good challenger against them, and we'll see.
Absolutely. Nico, real fast.
So I'm on Team Shirewolves here, and Case just said, Whitney and Bibbs, they score points. But Clark and Rachel, they score an equal amount, if not more points per match. And they are basically on a roll right now. They have the gold to prove it. Rachel is double belted right now. Clark made it into the finals of the tournament last year. These two have more momentum on their side than Whitney and Bibbs do. And granted, yes, Whitney and Bibbs do have 4 knockouts as a team. But what happens every time they go to the final round? They usually blow it. And that's where Clark and Rachel have been battle tested. That's where they've gone the distance and sometimes even farther. They've had to go to sudden death to achieve victory. And that benefits them in the long run because they know how to handle round 5 and the sudden death format. Every time it goes to round 3 in 3-round matches or round 5 in a title match, with the exception of when Bibbs beat Andraco, it usually never goes the way for Critically Acclaimed. So I feel like it's a matter of momentum. I feel like it's a matter of experience. Rachel and Clark have been at this game a lot longer than Bibbs and Whitney have, and just the confidence of having all the gold right now, or at least 2.
I wouldn't say a lot
right
longer.
I'll say
Just-
not a lot longer. I mean, Clark, yes.
Clark was in it earlier than everyone else, but then Bibbs came in. Then Rachel,
and then Whitney.
But Rachel has
it's not
got
by
more.
much.
But Rachel gets more matches in a single year than Bibbs usually does in 2.
This is true. And yes, that's actually a completely fair point. And I feel like a gun has been put to my head. So before we click play, I will quickly say this kills me because Critically Acclaimed is one of my favorite podcasts out there right now. But Nico brought up a great point. The experience in a 5-round match, I think, will give the Shirewolves the advantage this time. Because if Critically Acclaimed does lose, they'll win whoever they get put up against next. They'll win against whoever they go after that. And when they come back for the belts, maybe down the road at, let's say, Collision, then I think that's when they'll take the belts. And if the Shirewolves actually do come out on top today, then they're well on the warpath to beating the Patriots' legacy. I'm not saying that they will yet, because they'd have to hold the belt for at
4
least
more.
for 4 more matches. They'd have to go 10-0. But they're already halfway there. So we'll just have to see.
And they can go 10-0. If anyone can go 10-0, it's Clark and Rachel.
Quite possibly. But we won't find out until we click play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Here we go.
Good, and I can study for my upcoming fandom match.
He's getting ready to do the Hadouken.
Bro, that's the Kamehameha.
Kamehameha from Dragon Ball Z.
I don't watch Dragon Ball. Shut up.
Me neither, but I still recognize it.
Really? Bro.
Our dream as adults is one day
Also,
the
it's great to see
announcers for a
Ellis.
minor league baseball team. Today, we
Even though
have
I do kind of miss
I don't want
Roxy
to call them
right
minor
now.
leaguers, but I know this. They're about to
Just
step
her
up
being
to the
giddy.
majors. What
Just
the
for
word
the
you're looking for
giddiness.
is prospect, Mark. These are prospects.
She's like a kid in a
Some
candy
who've got
store
a
every
taste
time
of
she's
action,
at that
some were
desk.
making their debut, but all competitors fresh to the inner geekdom division here today.
That's right. Winston Marshall, not exactly
exactly
Or
fresh
like,
to the Schmoedown. You guys have probably
or
seen
like
him
Ron
compete
when
in
he
the
sits down to write a song.
division. He is he's the very definition of fresh. In Anarchy, he was thrown together with Stacey Howard, and they competed very well against the Founding Fathers. But I think Winston looked at the landscape of the Schmoedown. He looked at having a teammate, and he said, you know what? I was backstage at a live event. I watched the Inner Geekdom happen. I think I'm throwing my hat in that ring. How do you think he fares?
Well, you know, there's something to be said about realizing, yeah, you got friends, you got teammates, but you want to step up and do it yourself. It's like when you get to the second hour of Top Golf and you're lining up and you're like,
golf
this
reference?
is all me. It's not about my friends.
Really?
It's not about Josh McCouga coaching you anymore, though we may need it. So now you look at the other side of the ledger. You look at the challenger in today's match. A young lady who has never competed in the Schmoedown until right now, and that is Emily Rose Jacobsen.
Yeah.
She knows a hell of a lot about the Inner Geekdom. She has some strengths, maybe some weaknesses on that wheel too. She's going up against somebody who knows a lot about the Inner Geekdom and definitely can talk some trash.
You know, here's the thing. Emily Rose Jacobsen, which sounds like a great character in some kind of graphic novel. Like, it just really does. Like, she's going to solve some problems there. She's a rising personality in the geek community. She knows her stuff, but then you've got to bring the knowledge into the Schmoedown and see if you can compete with the fires burning around you, and Winston across from you in the crowd, RB3 staring at you from behind the camera. It's intimidating, but I have a lot of faith in her ability.
That's a good call.
That's a good call. This is going to be a great
Also,
match.
fun fact,
you look at the landscape of the Inner
John
Geekdom
Dykstra's
division
daughter.
right
John
now. You
Dykstra
have
was the
your
visual
Mount
effects
Rushmore, and then you have a
supervisor on
lot
New Hope.
of contenders chomping at the bit.
I know that Dykstra is
chiseled
Dutch
right
name.
alongside them. And now we
And
take a look at the
she worked on
pre-interview
ETC for a
today's
little bit.
match.
Before they completely ruined their company.
Yes.
Ooh, a little bit of rock and roll
Well, my
vibes.
confidence level for my first ever Inner Geekdom match going in, I'm feeling probably about at a strong 7. I've been really practicing this week, and I've had a great trainer, my cute boyfriend, Adam Hlavik, really helping me prep for this, and I'm just really filled with excitement at this point. So, yeah, we're cresting on that nice 7 right now.
Interesting.
I'm by myself. So the thing is, I can't have Eric or Stacy carry me anymore, all right? Now it's time for me to get out here and talk a lot of shit.
I'm feeling really, really strong, and I know that throughout these next couple of weeks and months, I'm just going to keep studying, keep rewatching films, and really just rise in the ranks in the
Is it from
Geekdom.
Greece?
I really only know, like,
Like I can tell it has something to
Pixar,
do with
Disney, MCU, something
It says
about
Tony
Batman,
on there, but-
Ninja Turtles. That's about it.
Definitely Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and the MCU.
Is it one of Tony
Still
Stark's
working on that
fans'
DCU,
jackets? Did
Marvel,
they
and
sell it at
DC,
the
but
Expo
those
and
main
Iron Man
three,
2?
That's what I've got.
I'm not here for a belt. Who needs a belt? I'm wearing joggers. I don't need a belt. I'm just here to get in your head.
Well, yesterday I ended up slamming my toe against a vacuum cleaner, and so I've got a bandage, I've got it splinted. The pain will inspire my competition today.
If I get exposed, I get exposed, man. It is what it is. But I'll tell you this, don't let me get on a run, because I will dance the entire match. It's a whole different way. Y'all don't even know about this yet.
You know what? We're both amazing and awesome geeks, and you know what? May the best geek win.
And the award for strangest pre-match interview goes to Winston.
Strangest pre-match interview that doesn't feature the Wildberries.
All right, well, Ken, you see
Well, that's
here,
just a
Winston
disaster.
Marshall saying he doesn't necessarily need a belt in his future. He's just here to get inside his opponent's head. But his opponent today, Emily Rose Jacobsen, now we saw from that interview, she clearly is good friends with Adam Hlavik. She knows how to be coached. She knows how to
Good
learn.
friends.
She knows how to prepare herself for a match like what we have today.
Look, yeah, it looks like her and Adam Hlavik have gone out for a few raspberry phosphates.
Leave room for the Holy Ghost.
And I think I think Adam has a lot of experiences, and if he can give any kind of insight, it'd be valuable. But this is about Emily striking out and making a name for herself today, and I think she's motivated. And Winston, you know, I love this guy. I once at a Schmo live event, me and him alternated taking prom photos. We held each other for about an hour, for all the photos at the fan meet and greet. And I love this guy, but let's see if he can really step up today.
All right, well, go to Ken's Facebook page for more on those
I'm
images.
so
But like we said,
confused.
Ken, these two competitors are just one of
beyond
many who are
confused.
looking at that match and saying, one day that's going to be me.
Absolutely, the title is the goal. Yeah, unless you're Winston and you
That's
don't need
gonna be
belts,
me
cuddle up
someday.
at a buffet. But I think he still wants the title.
Let's move on to notable accomplishments, and I'm
I
getting
believe
word
in
from
you,
our
Chris.
producers
I
that
believe
these
in you.
competitors are about to have some notable accomplishments, but we don't necessarily have any yet. So, Ken, I'm just going to ask you, are you ready to do this thing today?
Yeah, you know, the strengths, I'll tell you that. Little mini tail of the tape, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, MCU for Emily Rose, MCU, DC, and ninja movies. Obscure ninja movies for Winston. Certain ninjas might come up today. So
So be prepared for maybe a
We are ready. That
TMNT
means
question.
It's time for the movie Trivia Schmoedown.
Bye-bye.
Handling the introduction duties today is the golden throat of Ken Knapsack.
All right, I'll do my best. And introducing first, making her Schmoedown debut.
This was used
with a
for
record
the
of 0
intro
wins and 0 losses,
logo
looking to make her mark today.
I believe Thor the
Emily the Rose Jacobsen.
Emily the Rose Jacobsen. She is Stark Industries.
There. Yep.
Jackie getting a Captain Marvel flair.
That is, yeah.
Oh,
look
yeah,
at
she's
Stark
limping.
Industries. I love Winterfell. I think
She
they're
must have
gonna
really
take the
jacked her
throne.
toe up
That
on
is
that
actually
vacuum.
a reference to Tony Stark, who factors into the
I was
MCU.
gonna say, yeah, I also do like
Canon.
Winterfell.
Never heard of him, but
I'm just not a big fan of the residents of
her
Winterfell.
opponent,
Like Starks. Yeah, me neither.
representing the world's finest, making his Schmoedown Inner Geekdom
What is this music?
debut, Winston
I think this is from
Black
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Here go. Wait.
Or, no, does.
Oh,
DBZ.
there he is. Winston has appeared in
I did notice
Dragon Ball Z
the bottoms
action.
of that
That is the
outfit
character of
when he was
Goku
doing his
in
intro.
Danny Fernandez's tutelage.
I just didn't say
Has
anything.
served me well. He is indeed Goku, who is a hero in the world of DBZ. Will Winston be the hero today?
That
He
is
certainly
fantastic.
has multiple suds at his disposal. The Rose only with a glass of water. Now, Emily, I noticed there was a bit of a limp as you got to your desk. Are you okay? Are you physically able to compete today?
You know what? I'm in a little bit of pain, but I'm gonna power through it. And I'm gonna use.
The Inner Geekdom. I
was about to say, if Mara Knappick and Rachel Cushing gave us the best match of last
Oh,
year,
yeah.
same
Winston,
thing.
you look like you're on cloud 9, not a care in the world.
I think,
Yeah, this is my
I think
Nimbus
limping.
cloud right here. It's pretty
As
good.
he pours his beverage of choice, we will get into the rules in round number 1 for the Inner Geekdom division. Here's how it's going to work.
Here's how it's
the
going to
first of
work.
3
Chris will
rounds in
say,
today's
"Oh no,
match.
this is not
You're
my
gonna hear
thing,"
10
and he'll still get a perfect
questions
round
from 10
regardless.
different corners of the Inner Geekdom galaxy. Each question's worth 1 point. There's no penalty for
Don't
missing a
I
question.
Because
There's
this,
no stealing in
because
round
this
number
is Inner
1.
Geekdom,
We're
and the
gonna
last
ask
couple
you
of
a question
matches
from
you
up
have
here
been
at the
getting
answer desk.
perfect
Once
rounds.
you hear the question,
So-
simply write down your best attempt at an answer on the
And I
whiteboard
actually
we
have a chance to
provided.
outscore him
So
because it's Inner
kindly,
Geekdom.
we gave you a magic
And Nico
marker as
actually
well.
has a
Now you
score,
write that
a
down.
chance to
Try keep
score
your
half
chip
because it's Inner
legible,
Geekdom.
because once we ask you by name to reveal your answer, please show that whiteboard to
gotta
the
get
camera,
quick.
and so we can see it
I got
at the same time
8
you
or
say
9
it into
last
the
time.
microphone.
Yeah,
remember
I'll
that.
True, you
remind
did.
each competitor that you have about
7,
15
but,
seconds
yeah.
to get that question answered. If you need to
I
buy
got
yourself some more
Jack.
time, or you just need to think of
Last
the
Inner Geekdom,
answer,
you
you
got
can
it.
use one of your 3
sorry, I'm
JTE
thinking of the
rules,
Smets
which you can use
match.
throughout the duration
Yeah,
of
there
the
you go.
match. You also each have 1 challenge to use. Ken, I think I got all the
I remember
rules out
these
of the way.
things.
How'd that sound to you?
It sounded great. The JT rules named after the famed Ecuadorian scooter rider, Josh Tapp.
Winston, are you ready?
Yeah,
That
let's
will
do
never
this.
get old.
The Rose, are you
Oh,
ready?
As long as I live.
Absolutely.
Let's get ready to Schmoedown!
Here we go. Rounds to a finish.
Ken Knapsack will be asking the first question.
All
in
right.
The Inner Geekdom match.
First question comes in the category of Star Trek. Star Trek. In the opening sequence of Star Trek Into Darkness, the crew is trying to stop what natural disaster from happening on planet Nibiru?
I hear that on planet Nibiru they are opening a Topgolf.
I hope
We should go. We should probably
Great.
go.
And then
It was a
I-
real
early
Pompeii of a
investors
time.
Investors in Top Gun.
this is true.
4,
Oh! Damn it!
Volcano
Winston,
bursting.
Volcano
your answer
eruption.
was.
I had a hurricane and then I
Was
instantly
in
knew.
fact a
Oh, volcano.
eruption with
As
the
soon as you said
illustration to accompany
Pompeii.
it. Did the Rose have it?
Mass extinction.
It was not mass extinction, although a volcano can contribute to that. Emily finds herself in an early 1-0 hole.
Yo,
next to
real
Winston.
talk. I've never seen a Star Trek movie before, so that was.
Opening scene is a lot of fun.
I just summoned all my ki for that one.
So
That's
good.
all.
What did you take
I've seen
anyway?
that
I don't
one
know. They were
twice.
bound to
Let's
it.
hope the luck doesn't run out early there
Winston
for
does
Winston
not know his
Marshall.
Star Trek, but he does know his history on the planet Nibiru.
He does.
Your next question comes from the world of Middle Earth. This is Middle Earth. Could be Lord of the
well,
Rings,
I'm not
Hobbit
getting
movies,
this
some
one.
appendices in there if they were in the movies. Your
never
question
know.
is, what is the name of the character played
I'm
by
old.
Hugo Weaving in the Middle Earth films? I don't know how long we've been doing this, but I like that we're calling it the Middle Earth films.
That makes some sense
You
there.
know,
Yeah.
Not Lord of the
Okay.
Rings, where we're trying to stretch it into 6 movies.
So here, Nico, I'll help you out. I'll help
4,
you out. What's this? What's
2,
this?
Pens down.
I had
What do you
I
have?
had Boromir.
Elrond.
Eonder, I
John
know
Bean.
it's close.
It is not Ander. Does Winston have it?
If it makes you feel any better, I just wrote high elf white hair.
It's brown hair.
Yeah. That's his nickname in the streets. Y'all didn't know that. Y'all were using his government name.
Yeah.
That's his street name.
That's true.
Street name.
Elrond.
It'd be high elf
Elrond
brown
was
hair.
the name we were looking
Lord
for.
Elrond.
1-0 there. Going to the
You were
first
thinking of,
question.
Celeborn.
Category is MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. Frank
Or
Grillo appears by
douchebag Frank
which
Grillo.
villain name in Captain America: Civil War?
Or Heldier.
The name of the character there.
Or Helder.
Looking for the character.
I am
there.
a Frank Grillo supporter.
He's
Can you
got
repeat the question?
We got one.
JT.
We got one. Frank Grillo appears by which villain name in Captain America: Civil War?
By the way,
I
Back to my
have the
Frank
full
Grillo.
name
He's
and
got
the code name.
cheekbones that I really
Yeah, his
envy.
character name is
Good
Buck
cheekbone. This guy
Longbones.
clearly
That's
works
not
out.
the
Takes Centrum.
Just,
Winston a fumble.
looking for an answer. 5, 4, 3, 2,
Crossbones.
1. Pens down.
Brock Rumlow,
Crossbones.
Crossbones.
That's correct for a point.
It is Crossbones. Can the Rose get on the board?
I just did Winter Soldier, Armin Sola.
Hey, it's still an answer, although
Don't
it
lie,
is
don't put
incorrect.
those
And so now Winston taking an early
well,
2-0
and plus that was Toby
advantage.
Jones.
And can we see so
Toby
many
Jones.
times with rookies up on the desk under the white hot spotlight?
Bobby.
You got to get that first point, and then
Yes.
you start building some momentum.
It's kind of like a stand-up comic
I was
needing
glad
to get
when
that
he
first
died.
laugh. I've been waiting 10 years for that.
It's
and
right
it's
around the
been
corner,
happening.
I promise you.
Are
But
you
maybe
kidding
in
me?
Chicago, April 12th.
Oh.
Harry
speaking
Potter
of.
I never
is the
liked
next
that.
category, and in the world of Harry Potter, your question is:
Speaking of, yeah.
Helena Bonham Carter first appears as the villainous Bellatrix Lestrange in which Harry Potter film?
Ooh, I know this one.
That's a great character. She reminds me of every
yeah,
girl
it's
in
my
high
favorite
school I
one.
tried to date.
Yeah, I was thinking,
Bellatrix
dude.
Lestrange or Helena Bonham Carter?
Little column A, little column B.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Order of the Phoenix.
Order of
down,
the Phoenix.
And we go to the Rose.
The Goblet of Fire.
It is not the Goblet of Fire. Does Winston
It's
have
Order of the Phoenix. Damn it!
it? It is Goblet of It is Order of the
Order of
Phoenix.
Phoenix,
Order of the
yes.
Phoenix.
Oh.
Winston also
He
had
had
the
Goblet of
Goblet
Fire
of
written
Fire,
down,
and
but
we
he
move
realized
on
that it
to
was
the world
Order.
of Marvel movies, and the question will be asked by Mr. Knapsack.
All right, fifth question, category Marvel. Marvel in Venom. Who played Eddie's girlfriend, Anne?
Ah, shit.
You ever seen the Venom? I know you don't make every movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen a movie since
God, what is her
2015.
name?
No, dude.
What is her
Hopefully your
name?
parents will release that embargo they have
Yeah.
on their son's viewing habits.
I'm blanking on
Go
it.
to
I'm blanking on her face as a whole.
3, 2.
I just talked about
Michelle
it.
Williams.
We are
Friday.
simpatico.
Michelle
We go to
Williams.
Winston for the answer.
I got nothing.
He does not have it. Does the Rose?
I'm going to say a good actor.
It is
actress.
good actress. Michelle.
I really like her in that movie.
The crowd so wanting the Rose to get on the board, they cheered for her answer.
They did.
A good actress. Need a little more specificity than that. The answer is Michelle Williams.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
From
right.
Michelle Williams.
That's right.
So we move on to heroes and villains. Heroes and villains, and your question is, who plays former Wetwork agent Victoria Winslow in 2010's Red?
Shit.
After I have
haven't
dinner at
seen
Sizzler, I'm a wet work.
Ah,
That's
Oh.
a
Oh.
very gross joke.
Oh.
Go down the rabbit hole.
It is.
I won't go to Sizzler.
Crap.
Go there one time. Never.
ah,
gonna.
it's
I
on,
can change your mind.
it's on the tip of my tongue.
4,
I haven't
Wait.
not
Oh
Judy
shit.
Dench,
Oh
but
shit.
it's-
2, 1. Pens down. We go
Helen
to
Mirren.
the Rose.
Helen Mirren,
Liv
hold
Tyler.
it.
It
Hold
is
it.
not Liv
It's
Tyler.
not Liv. Definitely not Liv Tyler.
I did not have that.
No, I don't. I'll put the woman from Weeds, but that's not it at all. I didn't
Good
get
show.
it.
A very good show. The answer is Helen Mirren. The
That's
all-time
what I
great.
got. It was
Helen
in my
Mirren.
brain. I just kept wanting to say Meryl Streep, but that's not right.
It is not right.
And it feels like, as opposed to one competitor getting the other one's head, it feels like our dear
I'm
head writer,
actually
Chris
ahead on the
Kaliski's in
score
both
of both
their heads
competitors.
Right now,
Yeah.
the answers are on the tip of their tongue, Ken. They can't quite muster it in time to get it on the whiteboard. The next question comes from what world?
Seventh category is DCEU. DCEU, a recent article at Playboy.com written by Mark Ellis, says that the DCEU might eventually pass Marvel's MCU. They're playing the long game. Check it out on Playboy.com.
Drunk when I wrote it, Ken. Back to you.
All right. The question is, who plays Mira in Aquaman?
Okay, so I asked you about Venom.
Yeah.
This one's a
I
gimme.
don't even need to bother asking you about Aquaman.
No, I just rewatched season 1 of Game of Thrones.
Okay. That's a very healthy viewing habits you have
Which
there.
is what I'm doing, Ken. So I
4,
guess us Kens need to do
1.
that.
Pens down.
Amber Heard.
I mean, we were just talking about this, Amber Heard.
It is, in
There we
fact,
go.
Amber
We got
Heard.
a
Did the
point.
Rose have
I
it?
said Catherine Tate.
Everybody wants her to get the correct
They do.
answer
They do.
to get on the
Did you
board.
say
Now,
Catherine
Winston
Tate?
only with a 3-0
Catherine Tate.
lead, so not taking full advantage, but we move on to the last 3 categories in round number 1. And your next one is going to be in the wild, wonderful world of a galaxy far, far away, Star Wars. Star Wars. We have some fans here today. And your question is, what is the name of Ben Mendelsohn's character in Rogue One? Just need the last name. Just need the last name here.
I can't compete.
You are not allowed to compete, but I will let you say the answer.
Okay.
I hope I'm spelling this correctly.
Are we
This one
Garrison
may
deploy
have
the
started-
blood?
I've not seen a lot of activity. Winston thinks he's got something. 5, 4, 3, 2.
We stand here amongst
1.
my achievement,
We go
not
to Winston, what do you have?
yours.
Can I have Ken answer it for me?
You may not have Ken. This is not Phone a Friend.
Diego Luna?
It's not Diego Luna. That's just another actor in the movie. Did the Rose have it?
I just threw a smiley face with a thumbs up.
Smiley face.
We were looking for director Orson Callan Krennic, or Krennic would have been accepted there.
He even
Ken,
got the
if you
middle
would just
name.
answer-
I actually didn't know the middle name.
I would have got your point.
I wouldn't have had the whole audience laugh at me.
Yeah.
That's, you know.
No, I think that Ken
part
came
of
up
the
At
with
least
it.
you
Right.
answered, you guessed with an
Fair
actual
enough,
actor from the
probably.
film
Yeah.
instead of a drawing.
Yeah.
Drawings work.
it was
It's a
good
nice
drawing.
illustration.
3-0 lead here. 3-0 lead. This is looking like the most recent Super Bowl. But in the category of mixed bag, Lena Headey plays Queen Gorgo in which
Lena
2006 film?
The title of that movie, Ken, and I thoroughly
Not heavily.
enjoyed the last Super Bowl. I know a lot of people didn't.
Can you repeat the question again?
We got a second repeat coming in. Lena Headey plays Queen Gorgo in which 2006 film?
Wait a minute.
Nico, you're writing way too much, Nico.
It wasn't the best game. I'll give you that. 5, 4,
It's
I
not
have it
100,
between
it's
two.
not 200, but it's
1.
Oh,
Pens down. We go
300.
to the Rose.
it was
Did you have
Hellboy
it?
2.
No.
She did not have it. Does
blank.
Winston
That
for
was
4
2008.
I started to write Queen of the Damned, but that movie came out like way before.
It would not have been Aaliyah starring in Queen of the Damned. It was, in fact, 300.
300.
Oh,
300. A numeral that we will not get close to in this match. Was that shade? I'm sorry.
Shots
It's a
are
derivative. I
fired.
mean, we got 3-0. You need one more
Yeah.
zero, dog. So, like, you
Yeah,
know.
Winston has a point.
So now we move on to your Patreon question.
And if Chris hits
This
it,
is
he
a
gets a
Patreon
perfect
question.
shot.
It comes to you from our good friend Andy
just
Schick.
say.
Give Andy a hand. Thank you, Andy,
Thank you, Andy.
for supporting this program. If you are not yet a supporter of the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Patreon,
Fine,
check it out. Select
Case.
which
You know
tier
what? Sure,
is
I've been
right
on a
for you.
roll.
Got a lot
That's
of live
because I'm
events
actually
coming
trying
up,
to
a
get
lot of
good at movie
articles,
trivia again,
postcards you
'cause
can check out.
I will
It's
not
all
lose
at the
again.
Movie Trivia Schmoedown Patreon. So Andy Schick wanted a question in the category of DC movies. These are DC movies, not necessarily DCU. These could be any DC movies. And his question is, professional wrestler Robert Jeep Swenson
Son of a bitch.
played what DC villain in the
Oh,
year
I think I know
1997?
this.
You do.
Oh, I
Yeah,
actually know.
because this movie is terrible.
I got. I've actually.
I've seen pictures.
I
of
actually
you,
know.
Aaron. You look
I
fantastic.
had long hair.
Great alternative rock DJ, Ken Nelson.
Honey
5,
company.
4, 3, 2,
It's Bane.
pens
Bane.
down. We go to the Rose.
Was it Bane?
It was
Hey!
Yes! 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 Yes!
Well,
Yes.
She's on the board. Meanwhile, Chris gets a perfect round. I scored 9 and Nico scores 6. So honestly, competitors, step up your game.
So it is now 4-1.
Please
and I
don't
feel
be an
like
asshole.
our kind barbs
I
towards
know,
them
but-
maybe,
Well, no.
goose them into
Let's be
getting some
fair
correct
here.
answers.
You know,
Here's
they
the thing. It's not about the
should
score. It's about
be
the
able
win.
to do
And
a
this is
little
a close
better than
game.
this.
4-1 is a great
It's
score.
Especially
their
given,
first-
especially given
3 points
Winston's
going in round
experience.
2. Emily's not in
Yes.
a bad spot. Winston's got to grab
Like,
control of this
honestly,
game if
like,
he wants
I
to
don't
take it
want to
home.
shit on any
And I think we're ready for round
debut
2.
player
In
who's
round
never
number
done
2,
this
here's
before.
how it works,
Seriously.
competitors.
They're
Again, this is
becoming
round
this,
2 of 3
claiming
total
to know your
rounds. This
geek,
is known
they
as the
score
wheel
1
round, the wheel
point.
of justice, doom, and both competitors'
Okay.
fates. You see that wheel right there? It's
Unless-
got 10
unless you are
slices on it
geeking,
from
you
10
just think
different
at
corners
trivia.
of the
Which,
inner
you know,
geekdom
that's
galaxy,
fair,
as
but
well as your typical opponents and
this is a
spinners
trivia
of choice. Each
competition,
competitor
to be
gets a spin
fair.
at the wheel. Whatever category you land on, you're going to have to answer 5 questions from
Could
that
be the bright
category.
lights.
Each question is worth 2 points. There's no penalty for missing a question. However, there is stealing available in round number 2. So if you're not sure of the answer, you can simply say, I want multiple choice. We'll give you 4 options, one of which is the correct answer. At that point, the value of the question goes down to 1 point. If you don't like the category you spin, you are allowed another spin as long as it didn't land on the doomed opponent's choice. And I'd like to remind everybody that the wheel for today's match is a sponsored wheel from our Schmoedown patron. Give a hand for
Hey,
Jeremy
Hastings.
Hastings.
Hey, JPH.
Jeremy
Hey.
Hastings sponsoring the wheel. His wheel-sponsored slices that he likes are the DCEU and the MCU, Ken. So he's a big fan
Jeremy.
of current comic book films.
What?
Thank you, Jeremy,
Jeremy,
for your
the
support.
DCEU,
of
we
the
need to
Schmoedown
talk about
Patreon.
that.
So the Rose
yes, we
is
do.
on the board,
We
Ken.
need to talk about
with
that.
1 point to her
Because-
name. Winston Marshall
What?
has 4 points, meaning Winston, you have the option of either spinning that wheel right now or deferring to your opponent.
Ladies first.
All right.
No.
All right, here comes the Rose again. Injury could be a
She's going
factor.
to limp on over, and that shows her grit, her determination to get this.
And look, she grabs a wheel from the wheel just the way it was.
Didn't have to remind you about the pegs.
Yeah.
And here it goes, round and round.
Still got the same pegs, but
And we know that she likes what the Harry Potters, maybe
Harry
the Middle
Potters.
Earth. What's it
Middle
going to
Earth.
land on?
It's a
That
good spin.
wheel
It's still
is
going.
a good spin.
Wow.
that's the Star Wars.
Is it
would
going
have
to
been
be
my choice.
DCEU.
DCEU,
Spin again.
DCEU. Do you want to
It's one of Jeremy's
Spin again.
slices.
keep that, or do you want to spin
again.
again? She's going to spin
spin
again.
again.
She's going to spin again.
Good
Spin is
choice.
in, Spin is in.
Oh, good spin.
All right. There goes that wheel. Spinning round and around. You know, Ken, it may just be my
Harry
my
Potter.
38-year-old eyes, but I have a feeling that wheel ticker
We
is
haven't,
getting
we haven't done a
little
Harry
tired.
Potter round
It
two in a
is
while.
getting sad.
Yeah, and I would very much like that.
I think it's. I
because-
think we're due for a Home
I know
Depot
it.
trip,
Yep.
and this
Oh,
could be
but
DC
folks,
movies.
oh.
You don't know.
Oh boy!
Ouch! From the DCEU. So Winston, what slice would you like to
That's gotta
give?
stink.
The
I'm
Rose.
sorry.
Well, again, since Ken has completely destroyed this category, I'm going to give her Star Wars.
Hey!
Okay.
You've answered all of the questions, Ken.
Questions are
So it's going to be
just way too
Star
tough.
Wars on the wheel. And
Star Wars it
because
is.
Ken is such a Star Wars fan, I will allow myself to ask the Star Wars questions. I'm kidding, Ken, please. Without further ado,
Well, no,
you may ask
Mark,
the Star
come
Wars
on.
question.
You're a Star Wars fan.
Thank you, Mark. The Rose, you're going to get 5 questions in this round. 5 questions in this round. Question number 1. How many years after episode 2 did episode 3 take place?
3 years.
Multiple choice.
I was thinking 3, yeah.
A2, B3, C5, D10.
3.
That is correct. That is correct. We got a point.
That's a
We got a
point.
point. We got a point.
That is a point.
Full question.
All right. Next question. In Return of the Jedi,
My favorite movie.
it is who points to R2D2 that if they
Yep.
fall out of the Ewok's net,
Very
it's a
long
very long
drop.
drop.
Isn't that 3PO?
It is. Hey.
C3PO.
That's
Done.
correct for 2 points. We got
Woo!
a tie game.
Game, Ken.
Tie game.
Okay, maybe this won't be so
All
bad for her
right.
after all.
Third question out of 5. What kind of creatures do the Tusken Raiders
Banthas.
ride?
Banthas.
Multiple choice.
A. Minoc. B. Tauntaun. C. Bantha. D.
How cool would it be
Rancor.
if they would actually
Bantha.
write
That's
That's correct for a
Rancor.
point. She takes the lead.
It's got
I
to
like
be a nice
sister
feeling to
style.
get the lead after a very
Lead.
tough round 1. She's starting to find her feet here in round 2,
Yes.
even though one of those feet is currently broken.
Fourth question. In The Empire Strikes Back, my favorite Star Wars film, which character exclaims, "You're not actually going
Leia.
into an asteroid field,"
Yeah,
upon
Leia.
learning of Han's risky plan?
Leia.
That's correct for 2 points.
It's a very good movie. I don't want
Ooh,
to
whoa.
cheat.
She needed
Our
these
princess,
questions.
Our general,
Yeah, she
Leia.
did.
All right, final question. Final question. Sticking with the. All right, final question yet. I started to read a Star
Oh,
Trek question.
you should not do that.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
All right.
Bring that Trekkie stuff in here.
Boo!
As Jar Jar Binks said, settle, settle.
It was
How
steady,
long did Han
steady.
Solo serve in the Imperial
3 years.
Academy
3 years.
before abandoning it to join Beckett's crew?
Multiple choice.
A, 2 years. B, 3 years.
It's the same
C,
as
4
the
years.
episode
D,
2 and
5
3
years.
question.
2 years?
Incorrect. Possible steal.
3.
That is correct for a steal.
That's
1
a
point
big steal from
Oh.
Winston, but
We'll see how
hats
he'll
off to
do.
the Rose, who she's
Yeah.
won
We don't know what
opponent's
he got.
choice. Winston saddled her with Star Wars, and yet she managed to have
Yeah, she
quite
got
a
4 out of
favorable
5.
round
Pretty
number 2,
impressive.
despite that
Yeah.
steal right there at the end.
Which
Lot
I
of
was just
credit.
gonna ask, did y'all just like reset all the questions or whatever? Like,
Still a lot of
Damn.
things.
Yeah, how
Answered
long
all the
till they're
questions,
going
and
to
now
do
we're
that?
back to square one. Winston, it is now your turn to spin the wheel. Please spin from the wheel and not the peg. And you don't have to give it your best Goku spin because the wheel's feeling a little tired. Today.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Over 9,000.
Yes.
Here we go, Ken. Winston, if he gets on a run here, he's going to have quite an advantage going into round number 3. The potential for 10 points is out there right now.
Yeah, he does need this here.
Oh, but he could have spun opponent's choice.
Yeah, but then he gets Star Trek, and he also doesn't like that.
He's going to spin again.
Spin again.
Take it, you wimp.
Spinning away from Star Trek.
Or, you know, watch some Star Trek.
That would have been interesting. 2 opponents' choice.
The only thing Winston fears more than opponent's choice is the Star Trek way. So here it comes, and Ken, it
Oh.
could come back to
Uh,
haunt him
Hopefully he
again.
hasn't tipped his hand.
It's right
Has
there.
he tipped his hand?
It's
No!
right
We're getting Harry Potter.
Well, hey, I got my wish.
Winston taking a few victory
Yeah.
laps. Wow. That is quite a spin. Harry Potter. Oh, boy.
Look at that.
Such high
IPO
drama.
MCU.
Yeah.
All right, so he's not able to will it all the way to the MCU, but he is going to settle into the wild world of Harry Potter. And Winston, you're first of 5
Actually, if
questions
you cast
here
that spell, what would you
in
bring
the
for
world of Harry
yourself?
Potter. When wizards cast the spell Expectro Patronum,
Otter.
the spell takes the form of an animal. What animal does Luna Lovegood's spell turn into? I have no idea. if
It's
that's an
a
easy
very
hard
difficult question because it's not even said. It's only shown. It's not auto.
I do know time.
Multiple
winding
choice.
down. And we're going to go to 5.
You said multiple choice.
Multiple choice.
Oh,
Yeah.
so excuse me. Your options are: is it A,
Huh?
a stag?
Oh, it's a rabbit,
B, a
then.
rabbit. C,
yeah.
a cat.
It
or
is.
D,
I
a
was right.
horse.
Pretty sure it's a cat.
It is not a cat for a 1-point steal.
Rabbit.
It is in fact a rabbit.
Ooh.
All right.
Momentum shifting.
Damn.
Your next question. Your next question in the world of Harry Potter, Winston. In the Harry Potter franchise, there are 3 unforgivable curses.
see how-
What is the name of the curse that inflicts excruciating pain on the recipient, torturing them?
You said Crucio?
Yeah.
If I mispronounce it, I'm not gonna get it right.
We're a little lenient on the pronunciation.
It's like, just give me the multiple choice because it's like septum something. but
Is
Yeah.
Give me the
it A,
multiple
Thinks
choice.
about
Avada
second
Kedavra?
No.
D, Reducto Curse?
No.
C, Imperious Curse?
No.
Or D, Cruciatus Curse?
Oh, see, I know oh shit, I know the words. It's like spectrum. Repeat the answers one more time.
That's going to be JT Roy, I believe.
No.
Is it A, Avada
Yeah.
Kedavra, B, Reducto
No,
Curse,
to-
C,
Yeah.
Imperious
New
Curse,
in the new
or
year.
D,
Repeat for the
Cruciatus
options.
Curse?
Cruciatus curse.
Give him a point.
Yeah.
Good for a point.
But it's like septum sept.
That's a different spell,
Am I?
Winston.
Ah. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, off camera, getting some
Oh, yeah.
advice on that question that was just asked, so no rules infringement. Your next question, Winston, this is your third one. In Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, who plays Down-to-Earth Witch and former
what's her
horror
name?
Tina Goldstein?
Is
Is it A, Catherine Waterston,
Yes.
B, Gemma Arterton,
So I say
C,
crap.
Miranda Richardson,
What's her name
or
from
D,
Covenant?
Allison Sudol?
There we go.
A.
Where she also
It
is
is
not
A for a point. Catherine Waterston is the answer.
He's hanging tough.
Your penultimate question that could possibly give you the lead in round number 2. In Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, how many points each were
50.
Harry, Ron,
Yeah,
and
50.
Hermione deducted after being caught by Malfoy for wandering around after bed hours?
I have a solid guess, but I'm going to say multiple choice.
Is it A, 10 points, B, 15 points each, C, 25 points each, or D, 50 points each?
C.
It is not C. Does the Rose have it for a 1 point steal?
15 points.
You said
No.
15B.
It is actually 50.
50.
50
Ooh.
points each.
All
I
right.
thought so, but I was like, that's way too high for bedtime, but
It's a lot.
It's a British school.
All right, Winston.
Of course, I take it very seriously.
Your last question. In the world of Harry Potter, in the Chamber of Secrets, what one word
Pipes.
does Hermione write on the piece of paper Harry found in her hand after she had been petrified?
Pipes. He's using the plumbing.
Multiple choice.
Is it A, basilisk, B, diary,
Myrtle.
C,
Yeah, it is
myrtle,
pipes.
or D, pipes?
A.
It is not A for the steal and a 2-point lead going into round 3, the Rose.
can I have a repeat?
Is it of the question or is it just
She
the
should
answer?
get that
answers.
I can give
automatically.
you for free. A, basilisk, B, diary, C, myrtle, or D, pipes.
C Myrtle.
That is incorrect. We're looking for D, pipes. Looking
That's
for
where the
pipes.
basilisk is.
And so,
That's-
Ken, a very tough question. As far as my knowledge goes, the Star Wars ones, I knew some of those. The Harry Potter ones, I don't know how to read.
Yeah.
Regardless, it is now 8
Harry
to
Potter
7,
questions
and
were
we
tougher
have
than
us
the Star
quite
Wars
a
one.
competitive Intergeekdom match going
Oh
into
my God,
round
yeah, they
number
were.
3. It's 8 to 7.
Someone who
Emily the
knows
Rose
both
Jacobsen on top.
franchises
A
really
field
well.
goal could decide this one here, and yeah, this is what we're talking about. You got to get to the finish line. The finish line is the win. It's not about the points. And Emily paced herself. She stayed in there, and it goes
I'd
in the
say,
third
yeah,
round
but
with the
yeah,
lead.
what a-
So
what
that's
a
what's
changing of
important.
it-
But
what a
Winston,
turning
I
of the
think, got
tide,
it in
as
him.
it were.
He knows these answers.
And this is the last round. This is the round that
Turn
will
of
decide
the
the match.
tide.
In round number
Takes
3,
you a
each
while to
competitor is gonna
find
give
your
us a
rhythm,
series of numbers.
but
These
she's
numbers
finding it
range
now.
from 1 to 16. So
And
you
I
give us
think
your
the,
3
the
number
alcohol
choices. They
that
each
Winston
correspond
put
to a
into his
different
drink
category
is
up here at
kicking
the
in.
answer desk. The first question we ask you is worth 2 points. Your next question is worth 3 points. The last one, should we make it that far,
Sure.
is
Kids,
worth 5
kids, don't
points,
drink in
and
trivia.
will determine the match. So, Emily,
Unless
the
you
Rose
do
Jacobsen,
very
you
good,
are
please,
in
just
the
keep
lead, so
doing
you
it.
give us
You'll
your
win
3 numbers
eventually.
first. What do you like?
2, 8, and 14.
2, 8, and 14 are the numbers. And now Winston.
12, 10, and 7.
12, 10, and 7 for Winston. I'll be administering Winston's questions. Ken will handle the duties for Emily the Rose. Winston, we start with you. You have a 1-point deficit, and you chose category 10.
12, 10, and then 7.
12.
12, 10. I love when competitors switch the orders of the numbers. You switched 12. You chose number 12. And Winston, I'm not sure how you're going to feel about your category
boy,
for
what
2
if-
points. The question is, Star Trek movies.
Oh, no.
You know
Well-
how I feel about
Well,
it.
at least it's a 2-pointer. At least it's a 2-pointer.
Your question is, for 2 points, which Star Trek franchise
Jonathan
star
Frakes.
directed Star Trek Insurrection?
Commander William Thomas Riker.
Yeah. First he gives us the best Star Trek movie, and then he gives us the
Patrick
worst Star Trek
That is
movie.
incorrect. Looking for Jonathan Frakes.
Jonathan
Frakes. He hosts a lot of like
I mean,
ghost
yeah,
hunting
Darkness
shows, I
is
believe,
good,
too.
but I wouldn't
I
call
want
it
to
the
go
best.
ghost hunting.
He
With
also-
Jonathan
yeah.
Frakes. So now we
yeah.
stick with
Did-
Winston.
First contact.
Winston, this is
And then
now
the
going to be your
instruction.
3-point
yeah.
question. It is from category number 10. You
One up.
selected
Absolutely.
villains. Category
my favorite.
of villains. And here's your question. In V for Vendetta,
John
who
Hurt.
played the totalitarian leader, Chancellor Sutler?
I very clearly have his face in my mind. Bald guy, goatee. Fuck me.
Gonna go to
He's not
5,
bald, by the way.
4,
Nope. He has a full head of hair.
2.
Multiple. JTE.
You're gonna use JT rule?
That's what I meant. JT.
Your question
JT.
is,
JT.
in V for Vendetta, who played the totalitarian leader, Chancellor Sutler?
Ben Kingsley.
Not even in the movie.
Not Ben Kingsley, looking for John Hurt.
Yep.
John Hurt is the answer. And so now, Winston, it all comes down to this for you, my friend. The 5-point question. You chose the category of, Ken, help me out.
Star Wars, nothing.
Yay!
If they should buy wars, please let these Star Wars stay.
Paul F. Tompkins is smiling somewhere.
Will he force Emily the Rose Jacobsen to answer a question, or will this be a TKO? It all comes down to this question. Winston, for 5 points in the world of Star Wars. Your question is, in Return of the Jedi, what type of ship ended up bringing down the
A-wing.
Star Destroyer Executor?
And a wing.
And this is a deep cut, by the way, because this is never even said in the movies. Intensify forward firepower! Too late!
JT.
Last one.
Last one. In the film Return of the Jedi, what type of ship ended up bringing down the Star Destroyer Executor?
That was
And-
the end. Admiral Firmus Piet.
Just gotta take a
I
shot.
was gonna
right?
say this might be this is like a
Y
Nico
wing.
Rigoli, Jim Green kind of match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really was.
Yeah.
Accepted the front of a Cadillac. That's what was used for the crash scene. Ken, what a match
That's
we
true.
had here
It was a
today.
Cadillac
The
that
score
was
is not
used to
going to
break
indicate it, but this
into
was
the
a back and
busting
forth
thing.
match. Emily the Rose Jacobsen finding her feet in round number 1 as Winston surged to a lead. It was a tough round 2 for Winston, and then round 3 just could not get the categories he wanted.
You got to stick the landing, and that's not what happened today for Winston, but he is such an energetic and charismatic competitor. I hope we haven't seen the last of him here. I hope he can pull himself up and dust himself off and keep going. But Emily, what a debut coming in here. Yeah, she struggled early on, but like we kept saying, you got to hang in there. You got to dig deep. You got to hang tough like a New Kids on the Block song, and that's what she did.
She certainly had the right stuff, Ken, and now we are going to throw it to our post-game announcer, Emma Fife, who's going to have an interview with both the winner and the loser. Take it away, Emma.
Oh, this is the exact reason they
What's
put
up,
us
Future
on
View
the card.
Schmoedown fans? Emma Fife, your Inner Geekdom League commissioner here with the victorious Miss Emily Rose Jacobsen. Emily, congratulations on your win today.
Thank
Ooh.
you.
Now,
Emma's
Emily,
got a
I know
Winter
that you were
Soldier
putting,
dress on.
A lot of effort into
Oh.
preparing for this match. Were you
So she does.
surprised how you felt when you actually got out there on the desk under the lights?
Definitely, the nerves definitely hit in that first round. I was just sitting there, really just picking my brain.
Yes.
But as soon as I got that Bane question, that's when
Exactly.
the tides turned.
I was going to say you got off to a slow start, but as you say, once and as Mark was saying, once
way,
you get that 1 point,
if the
that
answer
kind
had been
of launches
Gandalf,
you on the trajectory of continuing to
and they
get
come
points
to you now
from there
at the
on
turn of the
out.
tide.
Now, when you were given Star Wars in round 2, because you did unfortunately spin.
I don't understand that
opponent's
reference
choice,
now, but I
how'd
soon
you
will.
feel about
It's a
that?
Two Towers
I was actually
reference.
kind of happy. I had forgotten to list Star Wars as one of my strengths, and so
Oh, that's good for us.
I was more worried that it was going to be a lot more prequel, a lot more.
Yeah, it was
side
not a lot of
questions,
prequel
but the fact
questions.
that it was a lot of the
Which,
original
how dare
trilogy
you.
really played in my favor.
And
Or
you know, your
sequel.
fears were very well
Which, how
founded
dare
because
you.
we do literally have
Yes.
an entire Star
There
Wars.
was a
league.
solo
There-
question.
I think
There
was
was
some
Solo, there was Rogue
strategy
One,
in
and the
what
rest was
Winston
original
was doing
trilogy.
and giving you Star Wars, thinking, oh, we've asked every Star Wars question they could possibly ask, but turns out there's a lot of things you could ask about Star Wars.
Apparently, no, yeah, I was very terrified when he said that, about giving me the category.
Yeah. Well, and you know, you didn't actually
Whereas
even have
for,
to
you know,
answer
you
any
give Case and I
questions in
Star
the
Wars,
final round
well,
there, though.
come on.
Do you feel
We're
like
just gonna
because
run with it.
you'd gotten on such a roll after you say getting that 1 point and then
Still-
performing
we still-
quite
Even
well
your-
in round
even
2,
yours truly,
that
even yours
you could have
truly.
continued that streak
You're
into
getting
round
there,
3?
Nico. You're
I
getting
think
there.
so, depending on the category. I definitely
Don't
knew
undercut
the
me. Let me
answer
have
to
it.
Winston's Star Trek question, so that was kind of giving me a little bit momentum in that, okay, cool, if I have to go into this third round, I'm feeling really good about it.
Awesome. So I assume then that you're not done with Inner Geekdom, and we'll see you back around these parts sometime soon.
Indeed. I am not finished here. I'm going to keep on climbing my way towards the top.
And next time, answering more questions in round 1. I have the utmost confidence in your abilities, Emily.
It was certainly a lot of fun watching that post-interview just now. And Emily, the Rose Jacobsen, you cannot say enough about how exciting it is to have her and Winston. I would throw them in this category of worthy challengers to perhaps the eventual crown, or the better word would be belt.
Belt is a thing there. Yeah, I think what I learned today here
what's
is
some study time?
That sometimes the lights will shake you, getting in the ring.
Look, do what Kevin Smith does.
But it's all about
Maybe you'll get
staying
there.
through to the end, and I think that's what Emily did today.
You got to get those early.
I
punches,
still
you gotta
say it
absorb
might have been the
and then you
pressure
can
of the
come back and answer some
situation.
questions. That's exactly what we saw with an 8-7 victory of Emily the Rose Jacobsen over Winston Blackman Marshall. What a match it was! Had a pleasure calling it with you, Ken. I want to remind everybody out there. Not only
this is also because
on
we
Patreon,
just
but
had
also
mostly
our
great
live
matches
events
this
coming
season.
up March
This was
23rd. It's the
biggest
free
match
for
of
all
the
right
season,
here in
so-
Los Angeles. You can get tickets at the Schmoedownlive.com, and do not forget about Star Wars Celebration.
I don't want to be
We're
too
going
much
to
of
be
a
there.
Debbie Downer
April
about it.
12th is going to be
hold on
a
a second.
fatal
Where's
five-way in the
Winston's?
convention center. The winner of that will go
Yeah,
to
where
the
is his
April
post-match
13th
interview? I don't
live
know.
event at the Athenaeum Theater in downtown Chicago to face
Either
Alex
someone forgot
Damon. You
to
can also
put
get
it
tickets
in
for my
there,
comedy show at
or he walked out before we could get
theschmoedownlive.com.
one.
Go to the websites, use the HTTP. Ken Knapsack, where can the kids find you?
You can find me at Ken Knapsack across all social media platforms and hanging out with you all on the internet.
That's Ken. I'm Mark for Christian Harloff. We'll see y'all real soon around the movie Trivia Schmoedown.
All right. Now it's main event time.
Here we go.
Feeling good?
Yeah. I mean, I think we
Ooh,
just do what we
look at all that
go out
gold.
there, we keep calm.
Yep.
Like,
Talk to each other.
No knee-jerk
definitely.
reactions. Yep.
You know?
Just play it one round at a time.
Always.
That's
One
it.
round,
That's all
one
we do.
punch,
Yep.
and
Just
one
breathe.
something at a time. What was it from Creed?
It's fine.
Well, it's the Shirewolves. Those are some really nice belts you got there. Be a pity if you were to lose them today. Which is,
I feel like they're trying to hide
I'm terribly
laughs.
sorry.
Oh
Yeah,
But,
they are.
your championship is gonna have to be relinquished.
Yeah, we've done this so many times.
I mean, 2 weeks ago I heard this from
Yeah,
Kalinowski.
and who's the
and
boss?
Yep, they said it too.
They
I mean,
make
oh
us
god.
to come in here
Yeah.
and try and
So
to
we've
say
heard
things.
this all before.
Yeah, you know what we're not? We're not Bateman, and we're not Kalinowski, and we're not any of the other players. We are the players who will defeat you today. And we have the strength, we have the power, we have the brains, and William, do you have anything to add?
You guys are so cool! You beat Kalinowski all those times? When you beat Bateman all those times? Those guys are such jerks! You're so good! You're so good! What?
Do you have anything else to add?
Yes! Please take my picture.
What are you doing?
Nice! Come on, okay, listen, I'll take it myself. Okay, you guys. Come on.
That took such a 180.
Oh, that was amazing.
That took such a 180.
That
That
was
was
perfect.
That was beautiful.
That was perfect.
Yep.
Ah.
Oh, by the way, will this be not just a title match of team, but also a title match of
Touche, Case.
I didn't hear what he said.
Wait, come on.
I didn't hear what Case said.
It will be a title match
We
against
had our undercard match
Ah.
there in the Inner Geekdom, but now it's time for the championship, the team championship. That's right, the challengers, critically acclaimed William Bibiani and Whitney Seidlow.
know,
That's right, they
man.
go up
Who
against
is
the
gonna have
reigning
the best
champions
entrance?
themselves, the Shirewolves.
By the way, I think this will be the last match in which those physical belts will be on the line, because from what I understand, they're getting new belts.
Oh, why,
Oh.
in general, we,
Okay.
the royal we, why?
And they should be at the studio before Celebration.
You're right.
Glory
You're
and
right.
gold to this is what this is all about, and I'm so excited to be here for this title match. It all comes to these kind of matches.
Well, there's so much story.
Ken, you
here
kinda
for
turned
sure,
into walking
because
there for a
the funny
moment-
thing is
moment.
that you rewind,
I'm so
you know,
excited to
on
be
the
here
first
for
iteration
this
of Infinite
title
Schmoedown,
match.
You had interviewed a very different back then William Bibiani, who was a little bit more cocky, who was a little bit more arrogant, and he at that time he said that he was going to win the singles tournament, he was going to win the teams tournament, he would have both championships, and when Critically Acclaimed debuted, everyone thought
thought this was a team that was going to be unstoppable. They ran into late to the party.
It wasn't their
there was a
debut
big bump
against
in the
late to the
road. We
party,
didn't
to be
really
fair.
out of the tournament they went. We didn't see them for a little bit, but the attitude got better. And William Bibbiani and Whitney started to show. It's very similar to Bibbiani's singles career. To where he had this big, that Andreyko match, and then JTE threw him off, and what's going to happen? He eventually gets himself to a #1 contender match, and then he won the championship. Can he repeat himself here? Because Critically Acclaimed is 4-1 now, and all 4 of their wins by TKO.
Well, that's amazing. I didn't even know that stat. Frankie Numbers didn't text me that like he texted you. But the story of William the Beast Bibbiani is very interesting to me. This is a guy who came in heralded, came in like this, and the team, the Critically Acclaimed forums, you think this is going to work. It's like my 3rd marriage. It doesn't work, but you learn, and that's how I got my 4th marriage. So that's what happens. And I give William the Beast Bibbiani a lot of credit for coming out of a valley and climbing back up to a peak.
And the same can be said for Whitney Seibold as well, who's been playing very well. But here's the problem. The problem is that, yes, they are 4-1. They have 4 knockouts, and they have a championship shot now. The problem is that they have to try to win the championship from the Shirewolves. And the Shirewolves are one of, if not the best team that we have seen. They are 5-0. They have not lost. They are
there's this intro of him saying, "Who's the champion again?" Cut to the Shirewolves. Oh,
Best moments not in a match so far.
And she has been playing for that championship.
Well, okay.
She has played
Close.
for a championship. She took
Second
Sam
best.
Levine to
Because the best will forever
Rachel
be.
Cushing has done
Really?
They are
Me.
Hall of Fame players, and now Rachel Cushing also coming off maybe the biggest win of her career, and when she defeated Mike Kalinowski in arguably one of the best matches we've ever seen. She's now the Intergeekdom champion. She is the first ever female double belted champion, as well as being the first person to ever be double belted with the Intergeekdom championship. So these ladies are intimidating. They are some of the strongest players that we have ever seen in this game, and it is not going to be easy for Critically Acclaimed. But Shirewolves also want to make sure they are chasing that Patriots record of 6 title defense, or 7 title defense, excuse me. And now they are going for
Wow,
which they can definitely reach.
A lot of accomplishments,
Quite
a lot of great things you just said there, Christian. But you know what? It just comes back to me: talent, pure talent, and how these 2 competitors, Clark and Rachel, how they have grown in the league. You know, a lot of people know Rachel and I were partners. But
you stabbed her in the back.
Well, maybe that's from a certain point of view. But much like when my first
definitely
5
stabbed her in the
marriages
back,
ended,
Ken.
all 4 of those, 5 of those women, actually it was 4. There was a double marriage. They all went on to better things after. They all went on to bigger and better things, and that's what Rachel has done for the shadow.
What the hell, man?
She's now one of the champions, and Clark Wolf is one of the most intense
I just can't
competitors who
even
comes
with
to
him.
play. Game day is a thing with her. You kind of like a pitcher in the 5th inning of a no-hitter. You just stay away and let her do her thing. This is going to be a big match.
Now, as much as I want to hear about your future alimony, I would love to now go over to hear from the players. They have to say.
Don't make me laugh. It's gonna make me cough.
Your winners and still movie trivia Schmoedown champion of the world, classic Clark Wolf, Rachel Cushing,
Here we are. Yeah, we're back. I'm feeling
Yay!
It's the Magic season, supposedly. I think it's time that we were a part of that season.
Agreed.
We've defended once, and we are very ready to defend again.
Critically Acclaimed, they are gaining the respect.
Whitney and I have been a great team since the start.
You and I started from humble beginnings, as many do.
We are the smartest people in the whole league, and we got to show that today. We really weren't humble at all.
No, actually, we were really arrogant about it.
We only had one loss, and that loss was by a razor-thin margin, and it was very high scoring. It is our time to finally prove that we are the greatest team in the movie trivia showdown. And you know what? I'm not going to squander it. You going to squander it?
Nah.
Critically Acclaimed is an incredible team. There's no denying that whatsoever. We've seen what they do.
They're more than worthy competitors. Both of those guys, I've known William Bibbiani for a really long time. The dude's a walking encyclopedia. But that said, Rachel and I think, are confident players.
They've got weaknesses. We're aware of them. We've done our homework, and we are ready because we want to keep these belts.
The Shirewolves are formidable opponents. Several wins to their record.
They've never lost.
At least 2 or 3 wins then.
I have wanted to play these two players since I started. They are the smartest, most capable, dramatic, cool, everything. I love them, and there's no way to prove that you're really good at this unless you take on players like Rachel and Clark.
We work so well as a team because we work together. It's a partnership, 50-50.
The Fife Club coming together, having that unit for us in last season and last year was amazing. But now we can stand on our own. We've had other managers approach, and the truth of the matter is we're in this together.
I think we've got each other. We're rogue agents back to back, and good luck to Emma and to Mark. But right now it's you and me.
I can get behind that.
Their sense of style is top. You know, they're the top. Everything works well, except for one thing. Those belts.
I had the singles belt last year.
That's right.
I did, and it felt good. Felt really good. You know what goes with everything? That belt. But you know what? I want another belt. I've had the one belt. I want to try for a second, and there's no one I would rather wear a belt with than Whitney the Beauty Seibold.
Oh, stop. No,
never.
Keep
You're
going,
beautiful,
keep going.
and I
It's
love
fine.
you.
Critically acclaimed, you've won a whole lot of matches by TKO, but that stops today. We're after a record that was set by the Patriots.
You might have had your TKOs, but you've never played us.
We're going to take the belts from you politely.
Very nice.
Gently.
Yes.
We're going to be nice about it.
Very reasonable.
But they're going to be on our waists.
And possibly our shoulders if they don't fit.
Hashtag belt.
Hashtag belt.
We're excited to see you out there, but we're not going down lightly. These belts are going to be ours for a while.
What the hell? What the? Why is he doing that with the beard?
That's what you do with your best friend. Like literally, my brother and I, every time that he and I took a picture together, it looked incredibly gay.
Look how we got here. By the way, big shout out to Eric, our editor, who's been cutting some amazing promos. I mean, round of applause for Eric. The promos have just been insane.
You are amazing.
Check him out over at his YouTube channel, Nerd Chronic. I mean, they've just been so good this season. So thank you, Eric. So listen, as you see inside of those promos, this has been storied. We are getting to the fact of where these are a team that was deemed to be champions, haven't gotten there yet, and then a team that has earned their right to be the champions, and they're now going to prove it.
Look, it all comes down to this. The proof is in the pudding. I love pudding. I love proof. It all collides.
Yeah. All right, notable accomplishments. Here we go. Critically acclaimed. They have a former singles champion. They have 4 victories, and they also have 4 TKOs in all of their victories. And then the Shirewolves. They have way too many Schmoedown awards that I can even list. That's one notable accomplishment. They are both former rookies of the year. They are undefeated. They are the rookie team of the year, and they are the reigning champions with 1 defense. Their match against the Who's the Boss team of Mark Riley and Ben Bateman, one of the classics of all time. And now we are set to battle. Ken Knapsack, are you ready?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the movie Schmoedown! Yeah! 5 rounds for the movie trivia Schmoedown Team Championship of the World. Introducing first.
Oh my God, they're gonna do Gremlins, aren't they?
Wow.
4 knockouts.
How is this going to look?
This is just great.
Gentlemen, the #1 contenders, Whitney the Beauty Seibold, the former movie trivia Schmoedown champion, William the Beast Bibiani, critically acclaimed.
Oh, wow.
Hi, I'm Leonard Wilson. William Bibiani and Whitney Seibold are back with one of their famous entrances. Now, if you like what they did for Mystery Science Theater 3000 or Monsters, Inc., I think you're going to be disappointed this time. I mean, I'm not one to judge. I just made a silly appearance in Gremlins 2. But I think you'll have to agree with me, this one is pretty much of a letdown. In fact, I'm giving it no star.
Thank you, Leonard Malton. Thank you so much for that.
That's
agree with
Leonard. That's amazing.
All right.
What is this?
With a record of 5 wins,
Well, holy
no defeats.
How?
They are the
How are they going to do this?
2018 Rookie Team of
What
the
are they
Year.
about to do?
2018 Team of the
Thelma
Year.
and Louise.
The reigning,
Oh.
Oh, this movie.
Please tell me they have a Barbie Jeep and they're about to drive it through the studio.
Schmoedown Team Champions of the World, Clark Wolf, and the reigning Intergeekdom Champion, Rachel the Crusher Cushing, the Shirewolves.
Hey there. What'd you think of our last match?
Yeah, I saw it.
Ah!
Sucked as usual.
Yes!
You have really bad manners.
Well, I think you dumb girls should stay out of a man's game.
Where do you get off behaving like that?
Hey, that's why they invented the internet. So ignorant idiots like me could anonymously say whatever they wanted to.
Yes!
I'm a hero.
Yes,
You should
it
be
is.
thanking me.
Yes, it
We
is.
think you should apologize.
For what? Having a completely uninformed opinion and spewing my stupidity?
You say you're sorry, or I'm gonna make you sorry.
Oh, man. Oh, come on, I have the right to cowardly criticize people better than me.
I bet you even called us didn't you?
Of course I did.
Damn, I hate being called
Are you gonna apologize or what?
No, YouTube is nothing without my hot takes. You!
I don't think he's gonna apologize.
Nah, I don't think so.
Do it. Do it.
Blow it up.
Yeah! They sound like you when Skype doesn't work, Case.
Huh? Oh.
Or like me when I have a Skype delay. Okay.
No question.
And notice they did not tear up a picture of themselves.
What an entrance.
Good.
For when they won the titles, they had an amazing entrance. When they
That was great. I'm so happy for that.
Fair enough.
All right, so our competitors are sitting down.
Look at that. All the gold Rachel's got to put down there.
She's
Look
got
at
to
that.
put one away. So we are now going to go over the rules of round number 1. The competitors are going to get 8
You know what? I'm
questions
not even
in
gonna be
various
coy about it.
categories here.
I'm
Range
probably
from
gonna get a perfect round.
and
I'm
8
fucking
questions
happy
worth
about that.
1 point apiece.
Yeah,
15
because that's
seconds
how
to answer
our
the
round
question.
works
Don't
now
forget
here.
about your JTE rules.
Now
Don't
we'll
forget
be
about
happy
challenges.
to get 3.
And with that, that's everything happening in round 1.
Same.
Absolutely. It's going to be exciting. I think we should get to it, sir.
All right, so with that, I would have to ask first, the champions, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Let's do
The
this.
challengers are you ready?
Oh, heck yeah. I think we're ready.
Then let's get
right.
ready to Schmoedown!
What was that?
All right. Question number 1 comes from the realm of comedies. Who stars as Jesse Montgomery alongside Sean William Scott in Dude, Where's My Car?
There's a documentary
Nope.
about JTE's life before the car.
That's Where's My Bird.
We're going to
Okay,
run that one into the
Kelso.
ground like he
Just
did
like-
himself.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Jay Baruchel?
Ashton
Kutcher.
Yes, it is.
Ashton Kutcher.
Yes, thank you.
Ashton Kutcher.
And Bibbs?
Ashton Kutcher.
All right, all tied, all tied. Question number 2 comes in the category of horror/thriller. Horror/thriller. What classic Halloween costume is 6-year-old Michael Myers wearing when he commits his first murder in 1978's Halloween? Do you remember what you were wearing when you committed your first murder?
I think I know this.
5,
I hope.
4, 3, 2,
You're probably right.
1.
Hockey
Whitney
player?
Seibel.
A clown.
A clown.
Yes, it is. Rachel.
A clown.
Yep, Bibbs.
Hey, clown.
And Clark.
A clown.
All right, look at that. Punch for punch, Christian.
Didn't even remember
Sorry,
that.
this is exactly what we thought we'd get. And now we get to question number 3, dramas. Dramas. In the 2016 Best Picture winner, Spotlight, which major event in the United States forces the Boston Globe Spotlight team to put their investigation of sex abuse in the Catholic Church on hold?
I
What?
think this is right. I think this is right.
Feel the tension. Feel the
5,
thoughts.
4,
No.
3, 2, 1. Pens
9/11?
down, and
9/11.
Rachel.
9/11?
That's correct.
Oh,
Bibbs.
9/11.
Yes.
That's correct.
War in Iraq.
Okay, and Whitney.
9/11.
Okay, so only Clark missed there. So 6-5. 6-5, only
And
one
technically
point
it was
down, and we
related.
go to our next question.
Fourth question comes in the category
To the
of
actual answer.
Action/adventure. Action-adventure. Who plays Will Smith's girlfriend and eventual wife
Oh,
in
damn, what is her
Independence
name?
Day? You know, it's like.
Not even gonna try. Nope.
I don't know.
3, 2, 1. Bibbs.
Vivica A. Fox.
Vivica Fox.
Yes, and Clark.
Vivica A. Fox.
Yes, Whitney.
I don't know if I'd give it to Bibbs.
Vivica A. Fox.
Got it.
Got it. We're good. Clean sweep.
Uh-huh.
7.
Okay. All right, next question here. Next question would be from Fantasy Sci-Fi.
This round is going really well for me.
Who plays the villainous Thaddeus Valentine in
Oh,
2018's
I think I know this.
Mortal
Just because I've
Engines?
seen a trailer for this damn movie.
All right. Some titters from the crowd there. They're not
And he was
not a
involved
fan
in a
of
question in the
2018
last
now.
match.
Yeah,
5,
that's true.
4, 3, 2,
Hugo Weaving.
1. Clark.
Hugo Weaving.
Oh,
don't have it.
Didn't
I
have
thought
it,
it was
Whitney?
Charlize Theron.
Weaving.
Yes, Rachel.
Hugo Weaving.
Yes,
correct.
Bibbs.
Hugo Weaving, and that movie is good.
All right. 10-8.
Yes,
Better than Green Book?
All right.
Question
Yep.
6. Question 6 comes in the category of animated. Animated. What 1998
It is
animated
mine.
film features the songs "Playing with the Big Boys," "Deliver Us," and "When You Believe"?
Oh shit.
Honestly, this is the only great movie based on the Bible,
How
in
about
my
$20,
opinion.
$40 not to?
Yeah.
Deal.
Oh shit. I'm so blanking on the name.
Next
Um.
one.
JT. What 1998 animated film features the songs "Playing with the Big Boys," "Deliver Us,"
Ray
and "When
Fiennes,
You
Val
Believe"?
Kilmer, Jeff Goldblum, Patrick Stewart.
Cannot
5,
think of the damn title.
I will help you
3,
once this
Yeah.
is over.
Whitney?
The Prince of Egypt.
Prince of Egypt.
Yes.
Yeah, that.
Prince of Egypt.
Yes,
Oh,
you got it.
Prince of Egypt.
Yep.
Prince of
Everybody
Egypt.
got it. All right. Everybody got it. All right. That was good. Here we go, guys. All right.
I remember.
All right, here we go. Movie release dates. This is for number 7. Movie release dates.
Great.
All right. Gangs of New York, Road to Perdition, and Men in Black 2. They all came out in which year?
Question I know.
You can feel it.
I like 2 of those movies.
Remember time.
5, 4.
I've seen one of these and I didn't like it. 2002.
2003.
2002.
2002.
That's correct.
Damn it.
2002.
Okay,
Yes,
Bill,
correct.
thanks again for these now.
2003.
You were close though, Nico. So Rachel and Bibbs got it. They both have so far. They have
Which
not
one, Bibbs?
missed. Whitney missed that one. It is still 13-11, 2
Impressive.
points here. But so here's what we do here on this one. If Rachel and Bibbs get this, they both have perfect rounds, and we'll have to answer a bonus. All right, Ken. Here we go.
All right. This 8th and final question this round, potentially, is a Patreon question.
Yay!
The following question comes to you from Jeremiah Spivey. Thank you, Jeremiah, for
Jeremiah.
your support. Patreon.com/Schmoedown.
Jeremiah
You can support
was
as
a
well.
bullfrog.
The category is biopics. Biopics. What former Taxi co-star played Andy Kaufman's manager, George Shapiro, in
I'm out.
Man on the Moon?
I'm out.
If you believe, Christian. if you
Oh,
believe.
5, 4, 3,
What? Oh shoot.
1. Pens
Shoot.
down and
Repeat.
Beast.
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
Oh,
Clark
Danny DeVito.
I had Gene Kelly.
Sexiest man alive, Danny DeVito.
And Rachel.
Gene
Danny
Kelly wasn't in
DeVito.
Taxi.
And Chris gets a perfect round.
But still use your whiteboard because 2 people are answering
Yeah.
the bonus.
Just
Indeed,
for
you can
Bibiani
actually
and
use the
Rachel,
whiteboard in
please
this
use your
one.
whiteboards here, guys. So we are going to ask this question, and this is
No.
just for Bibbs and Rachel.
I'll try, but I
Here
doubt I'll
we
get it.
go. Who stars as a small-town
No.
lawyer who must defend
No.
a man accusing of killing his wife's attacker in the 1959 classic drama Autonomy of a Murder?
Anatomy of Murder.
Autonomy, did you say that?
It's been a long day. It's all right. Long day. I JT'd it, and I'm proud of it.
I think I might know about this.
4,
Damn it! What is?
3.
Who is it?
Screw you guys. 2.
Ah. No.
And Pens
James Stewart.
down, and Rachel
Yeah.
Stewart.
for the point.
James Stewart.
Wow.
1 point. Okay.
16 to 14 after round 1.
And look,
Damn.
Strong rounds from both Clark and Whitney, and they're only 2 points away.
Now you know
14-16.
that is a title.
Wow.
Can you
What
tell
that
it is a title fight?
Unbelievable. Okay, so now we get to round number 2. The competitors will switch up their seats, and round number 2, the champions have decided to take opponent's choice and spinner's choice off of the wheel. They have
Yes, no spinners and opponent's choice.
that, the competitors will spin. If they don't like what they get the first time, they can spin again. There are 6 questions in this round, 2 points apiece. Unless you go to multiple choice, then it is 1 point. And remember, you can steal. Critically Acclaimed has used 1 JTE rule, and the Shirewolves have used none thus far. The wheel for today's match is sponsored by our Schmoedown patron, Jeremy Hastings, on patreon.com/Schmoedown. Thank you so much. The sponsored wheel slices for today's matches are 2,000.
I'm gonna make sure I'll make sure to leave 2 comments on your reaction to this match.
JTH is getting a lot of love in this video.
As he should. He's awesome.
Adventure.
He's a nice guy.
Adventure. If we land on that slice, we'll shout out that name.
So now
plus he makes the best gifts.
The challengers who are in
the
have an opportunity to
he
go
does.
first or
Homemade
second.
gifts.
We'd like to go first, please.
You like to go first. Okay, so please spin.
His internet connection is terrible, but
oh yeah, often yes.
Really hard by the peg.
There you go.
Did he spin from the wheel?
He almost jokingly spun from the pegs, which would have been great.
All right, so they are looking. Where do we go? It's coming back around. Where's it going? Where are they going? Are they
Carpenter. Okay.
Ooh.
They like Carpenter.
They got Carpenter. Okay.
6 questions coming your way in the category of John Carpenter. John Carpenter, critically acclaimed. 2 points for straight answer, 1 point for multiple choice. Question 1. Which rapper turned actor portrays dangerous criminal Desolation Williams in 2001's Ghosts of Mars?
Ice Cube?
Ice Cube.
That is correct. Ice Cube is the answer for 2 points there. All right, next question. Carpenter's The Thing was released on the same day as what other legendary sci-fi film?
E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
Oh.
Incorrect. Incorrect for Steele.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
That's correct.
Yeah, there we go.
It's gonna hurt.
All right. Third question out of 6. What popular video game series was inspired by the characters in Big Trouble in Little China?
What?
Mortal Kombat.
That is correct.
Oh.
2 points. 2 points. Fourth question out of 6. In what state does Starman crash land in Starman?
Montana?
No.
Multiple choice, please.
A, West Virginia. B, Florida. C, Wisconsin. D,
He said
Montana.
Montana.
I think it's West Virginia.
Montana?
Incorrect for Steele. 1 point Steele.
Florida?
Incorrect. Looking for Wisconsin.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Screw you, Wisconsin.
We've heard that question before.
Yeah.
We've heard that question before.
Montana and West Virginia.
5th question. Which actress portrays Holly in They Live?
Not Roddy Piper.
By the way, this round is not going as well for critically acclaimed as I thought it would.
3.
Meg Ward.
Incorrect. 2 point still opportunity here.
I don't.
All right. We're looking for Meg Foster. Meg Foster.
Meg Foster.
Meg Foster.
Yeah.
But still a good round so far. Final question.
And just like that, John Carpenter is never getting picked again in round 2.
Amber Heard is institutionalized and becomes haunted by a ghost in 2010's The Ward. What is the name of the psychiatric hospital she is kept at?
Wow. That is a deep cut. We're going multiple choice on that.
Really?
That is a multiple choice question if I've ever
All right.
We didn't write that.
A, North Bend. B, Smith's Grove. C, Cherry Lane. D, Eastern State.
Probably C. Because Smith's Grove is Halloween.
5, 4, 3.
East Bend.
North Bend.
Incorrect for a 1 point
Or
steal.
Eastern
Can we hear
State.
the
You
choices
didn't
again,
even-
A, North Bend. B, Smith's Grove.
North
C,
Bend.
Cherry Lane. D, Eastern State.
That's what they guessed. Oh.
5.
No, Bibbs guessed one that wasn't a
Cherry
choice.
Lane.
Incorrect. Looking for North Bend. North Bend.
See, we actually
Yeah.
They said
Yeah.
East Bend.
asked us to clarify because we would have given you an actual one that was
East
given.
Bend.
But
That's true. That's true.
All right. All right. So here we go. So okay. So now Critically Acclaimed is still in the lead. It is 4 points. Carpenter didn't work out they wanted to, but the champions now will spin. Clark Wolf walking to the
That was a
wheel.
rough
And will spin
round
from
for
the
them.
wheel, and we will see
Oh, what a
they
spin.
Whoa, big spin.
Ooh.
Aggressive shot by Clark.
Clark ain't playing no
Clark
games.
just flinched.
He's in it to win it.
Wow.
We'll see.
Unbelievable. And here we go. Here we go. They're looking for something strong because Carpenter didn't work out the way that they wanted to, but you never know what's going to pop up on the wheel for the champions. And here we go.
What is
over
it?
this.
It's
wait.
comedy.
Ooh.
Spin
Spin it again.
Spin again.
I'd spin it.
Clark Wolf is going to spin that wheel right off of the...
Except if they get horror, that's dangerous.
That was
Acclaimed is
awesome.
also
Oh, yeah.
great
And
at
they're
horror.
looking for either horror. They might be looking for, look, after
Yeah,
that performance with
like,
Kalinowski, you probably comic book movies.
Those
probably
questions
something
are
to look for, too.
difficult.
After that spin,
these
the
days.
Titanic wouldn't have hit the iceberg.
And it's coming back around. What's it going to hit? Looks like biopics, Ken.
2000s.
Looks like
No,
nope.
2000.
Okay.
2000.
In the year
2000.
I was waiting.
Here
I
in
was
the
just
realm
waiting
of
for it.
2000s. Right. 2000s. All right. Here we go, guys. In the film In Bruges, what Game of Thrones actor played the priest
Oh, Rachel's
that was
got
the
this.
target of Colin Farrell's hit?
No.
Or not.
5.
Multiple choice.
A. Charles Dance. B. Kieran Hines. C. Liam Cunningham. D. Julian Glover.
Stand.
Say Kieran Hines.
5, 4.
Karen Hines.
Correct.
That's correct. Matt Schrader himself. Matt Schrader himself.
All right, question 2. In Avatar, who plays head of security detail Colonel Miles Portage?
Stephen Lang.
Yeah, Stephen Lang.
Oh, or
5,
no.
4.
Repeat the question.
In Avatar, who plays head of security detail Colonel Miles Portage?
Stephen Lang.
2 points.
2 points there. Pulling within 1 point, Christian.
All right, there we go. Question 3. In Hot Fuzz, what is the only word that the dim-witted Lurch utters throughout the film?
Multiple choice.
A. Blarg. B. Yup. C. Farp.
What a
D.
question. Holy shit.
Thank you.
What is this?
Good strategy go to multiple choice because I think Bibbs and
Oh,
Whitney know it.
actually, they get it.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Ties up the game. So
Tie
now we
game.
got question 4. Question 4. Here we go.
From Yarp to the Hound.
Okay, question 4. In American Psycho, which actor plays Detective Donald Kimball, who is the man investigating Patrick Bateman?
Willem Dafoe.
Yep.
Willem.
And they
That's
take
right,
the
that's
lead.
question 4. That's question 4. All right, question 5. Question 5. What was the name of Nicole Kidman's character
Satine.
in Moulin Rouge?
Satine.
2 points.
2 points. 4-point lead, Christian.
All right, here we go. Last question here. Last question. Who stars with Drew Barrymore as a couple trying to get rid of an elderly tenant in 2003's Duplex?
Ben
Wow.
Stiller.
2 points. 2 points.
Damn.
Wait, Drew Barrymore
Very good
did
round.
wait, never mind. Never mind. I was mixing up Ben Stiller and Adam
It is
Sandler.
now 26-20. The champions have a
I
6-point
was like,
lead. Betting round.
That's an insult
and
to
Clark will
Ben
now
Stiller.
spin that poor wheel, and Clark's going to spin the wheel, and whatever it lands on, we get to the betting round. The betting round works like this: the champions will spin whatever category they get. They will have both teams will have a chance to bet up till 3, 0 to 3 points. They can bet, and now Clark will spin. Here we go. Wow. That is
Damn.
This.
Yeah.
She's trying to kill that wheel.
Why not? Let's kill it. Get a new one.
Throw some darts at it
Look
while
at
it
what down.
spins.
The champions have a nice, comfortable lead here, but we saw that go away pretty fast in the Intergeekdom match. So this betting round could be everything.
You got to play them all.
Here we
9
go.
innings
and
and 4
what are we
quarters.
moving over to? And we're landing on
Votes.
Oh,
movie
oh
quotes.
God, I'm going
That's a rough
one.
one.
All right, so
I'm
now
going
the
one.
teams are going to write down
You know
how
what,
many
Yeah, I'm
points
not-
they would
I'm not
like to
betting.
I'm gonna go
wager,
ballsy. I'll go
and
2.
We are going
I'm not
to
betting, I'll
get
just
to the actual
play.
question itself. All right. Which horror classic features the line, "They're coming to get you, Barbara"?
Yeah, they know it.
Right.
They both
Wow,
know
there
it.
was a lot of
I think they're
flurry at the
disappointed in their
table
bet.
There.
Yeah, I think they are too.
Well, it makes anybody feel better. I wouldn't have gotten it. I don't. 5.
I would have been scared.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Scream.
How many points?
3.
And you took
Night of the Living Dead.
correct.
That's
and
correct.
We bet one.
Right
1
down,
point.
pass up.
And we
Oh,
said
that was
Night of the
Night
Living
of
Dead.
Okay. So it was a smart.
Although, to be
choice,
fair,
though,
if I was
because
actually playing, I would have
they
asked for a
still have a
repeat, and I
4-point lead here. It's a
Yeah.
4-point lead. They just
So,
went from 6 to
you'd get
4,
it.
but it's still 4-point lead, and now we get into that speed round. The speed round, and here we go. The speed round. We are going to give the competitors 5 questions, Ken. 5 questions. They will buzz in. They will have 2 seconds to answer the question. If they get it right, they get a point. If they miss it, they lose a point with 5 questions. All right, so Ken, I will ask the 5 questions. Champions, are you ready?
Regardless of what happens, we are going to round 5.
Challengers, are you ready?
Yeah, we're
All
ready.
right,
Sure.
here we go.
Little gun
All right.
check.
Okay. Question 1. What is Jim Carrey's profession in 1997's Liar Liar?
He's a lawyer.
Hey,
Lawyer.
you got
Yes.
it.
Great. Question 2. Reese Witherspoon, Josh Lucas, and Patrick Dempsey.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Rachel.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Yes.
Yeah.
Name the movie that begins with the narrated
Oh.
line, "People
Fight
are
Club.
always asking me if I know Tyler Durden."
Fight Club.
Rachel.
Fight Club.
Yes.
Fight Club.
Do not talk about it.
What action film franchise features the following characters? Luther,
Mission Impossible.
Benji,
Mission Impossible.
Julia.
Rachel.
Mission Impossible.
Yes.
Damn.
Last one. Last one. In Disney's Frozen,
Kristen
who
Bell.
voices
Yes, the
Anna?
wonderful Kristen Bell.
Oh, Beast. Oh, sorry.
Oh!
Yeah, point taken away.
I didn't
It's
hear
all
it.
right,
You were
point
very
taken away,
quiet.
and that is Kristen Bell. Kristen Bell was
Yeah,
in it.
I
All right, so now the
wish you said my name
Shirewolves
louder.
find themselves with a 7-point lead going into the 5th and final
Oh
round.
boy.
All right, so the 5th.
What's the
and
current
final
team's
round,
points record?
And here we
35.
go. 5th and final round.
Yeah, but that's
The
3 rounds,
competitors
so
All
will
time,
get-
still
The
35.
competitors will get 3 questions.
We don't count the Iron Man
They will
match.
choose from categories 1 to 20. First one will be
I
worth
know that
2,
there was a team's
second one
match,
3,
title match,
third one
where
5. They
there's
will
the
decide who
36.
wants to take the 2, who wants to take the 3, and they can coordinate on the 5.
Oh, and by the way,
All right, we are
Shirewolves
going to
versus
start
Who's
with
Boss
the
went
champions who
41.
find themselves with a 7-point lead here.
Oh, never mind.
Shirewolves,
Yeah, you're right.
3 questions from 1 to 20.
4, 8, and 19.
But they're not going to
4,
get there.
8, and 19, and the challengers.
5, 6, and 10.
5, 6, and 10 for the challengers. I will start with here. We will start with the 2-pointer for critically acclaimed. All right, number 5. Here we go, guys. Number 5. Steven
Okay.
Spielberg is the category.
You'll take that?
I'll take Spielberg.
Whitney will take Spielberg. Okay.
I apologize in advance.
Whitney, what 1989 Spielberg film stars Richard Dreyfuss as the ghost of a forest fire pilot watching
Always.
his former girlfriend try to move on with her life after he tragically dies?
Always.
2 points.
Correct. 2 points.
All right. Now the Beast will have number 6. Number 6, Nicole Kidman. William, here we go. Okay. Who directed 2017's The Beguiled?
Sophia Coppola.
Yes.
Correct for 3 points.
All right. 5. Your
You can hit
5-pointer.
this.
5-pointer is from number 10. Now, if critically acclaimed hits it, it bounces back to the champions who will have a chance to win. However, if they miss it, the Shirewolves will win via TKO. And here is your category. It was number 10. You guys can collaborate. This is from 90s movies. 90s movies. Here we go. In Wayne's World, what is the name of Cassandra's band?
You're right. Crucial Taunt.
That's correct.
All right.
All right.
They did what they needed to do, but yeah, it's not going to be enough.
Have a chance to win the game. Now the Shirewolves have to hit their 3 or their 5. Or excuse me, their 2 and their 5. And here we, shit, they can just hit their 5. All right. Here we go. All right. Here we go. So
don't mess up, guys.
Starting with category 4, Ken.
Category 4 is 70s, 1970s, 2-point question.
Oh.
Who directed? Oh, Sue, who is taking it? Sorry.
I'll take it.
Rachel is taking the question. Who directed the Al Pacino crime classic Dog Day Afternoon?
Sidney Lumet.
2 points.
So they just need another question.
So now
Here comes the victory.
Clark Wolf will have a
Fair.
chance here to win the game. If she hits this, it is over. If not, they will have a chance to hit the 5-pointer. Here we go.
All right. All right.
McConaughey.
Your category. Your category is fantasy sci-fi. Fantasy sci-fi. 3-point question. Frank Oz provided the voice of the Wise Man in which
Labyrinth.
1986 fantasy movie?
Labyrinth.
Yeah!
Well done.
The race to 10-0 and 6 tile defenses continues.
New team high. What? What? No.
Who found themselves in a big struggle, but man, did they fight back. 10 points in round number 5. Hell of a match by critical.
33 points.
Hell of a battle there. The champions are still the champions, 35-33, Ken, and now they sit back and they wait to see. Will they be playing Who's the Boss again after that Chicago match? Will they play them again, or will they be facing their former stablemate, Mark Andreyko, as the Odd Couple and Who's the Boss go at it on April 13th? And you guys can still get those tickets. Go on over to Schmoedownlive.com to watch that number 1 contender match. But we know now, whoever wins that Chicago match will be facing the Chicagoans. They'll be facing the
Chicagoans.
So let's go
Christian
and
is
talk
also messing
to
up words.
Jen Sturger, who's with both the critically acclaimed and the Shirewolves. Here we go.
And Winston Duke.
Thanks,
Or
Christian. A
Winston
lot of
Marshall.
growling going on back here.
Yeah.
I know
So say
that was
Winston
just
Duke's and
not
Baku.
the way you guys thought that was going to pan out. And you guys had a great match. You were up the first round. I really think that steal in the second round hurts you.
Well,
and
yeah.
then the betting round, you kept it close. And then the speed round happened, and it's like the wheels kind of fell off.
Yeah, I'm a little perturbed about the speed round. I'm gonna have some harsh words to say at our next rules conference.
I'm sure they'll be
because,
screaming.
Well, listen, I'm just gonna say what happened. I'm just gonna say what happened, for better or worse. I buzzed, and you have to wait for your name to be called, and I kept waiting, and then I heard what sounded like a kitten fart, and apparently that was them calling my name, and I was like, oh.
That wasn't a kitten
And then
farting?
yeah, I totally threw me off my game. I knew the answer. I was waiting to say the right answer. There needs to be some sort of decibel rule in the future. I'm also a little bummed about the question that we got wrong for multiple choice in John Carpenter, where we said the wrong words and they didn't check to see which one we meant because we conflated 2 of them. That should also be a rules conference thing at some point. But listen, it happens. These things happen, and the important thing is we're never going to get any shirts.
Why no?
That's the important thing. Had a bet.
Why no,
Our team
why
has
no
no shirts.
challenges, though? Why no challenges? They're there for a reason.
Here's something else.
I forgot you could do it for those reasons. I thought the question had to be wrong.
Here's something I've learned. I have a slow reaction time. It's difficult to hit those buttons on
You need
time.
to work at that.
That's all.
I'm going to say something right now. Wendy and I, we've had a weird journey. We had all these stops and starts.
Yeah, this is your actual first title match together, which, I mean, when I thought about it, I was like, is it?
It's like, remember,
Because I feel like you guys have always been one of the top tier teams here. And
that's
so the
kind of
fact that I...
Remember Jack and Jill when Jill broke Al Pacino's Oscar and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, you have another one of those, right? And Al Pacino's like, you'd think so, but no. Like, that's how I feel.
I'm a little sad he's going to that reference,
it's a sad
but
state if you have
it's
to
a
compare
reference.
our current state of affairs to the movie Jack and Jill.
I chose my film
Just
carefully.
like
I'm
the
a
good, the
professional
bad,
critic.
and the ugly.
But listen, it's been a really great journey with you.
I'm
Whitney,
sorry, I had to
and
go
It's going to
there.
continue, and
Love you.
I want to just keep playing matches with you. You're my ride or die. I hope you never betray me. I hope this isn't setting up some sort of ironic twist later. But for me, we had a great match against the Shirewolves.
Bibbs,
They won fair and square.
keep being the
They're
Deadpool of
awesome.
this
They're
league.
the best in the league. For now, we're going to keep working at it.
Look, we fought hard. Yes. That was a bar brawl.
I had 2.5 hours sleep last night. I was
Chairs
so
were
worried.
lifted. stools were mashed over people's heads, and we came out okay.
Bibbs didn't even have a chair.
I don't remember
But,
that. Well, you
guys,
guys got smashed.
Obviously, this is not the
God,
end.
I love you, Bibbs.
Acclaimed.
Don't ever change.
Oh, God, I hope not. We have a
You go-
podcast.
You go back, you regroup. Hopefully, you guys aren't tired of each other because I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of you this season.
Oh, fingers crossed. Oh, we're coming back, and let me tell you something. I don't know if it's allowed. I don't know what the rules are, but whoever loses that odd couple who's the boss match, we might be coming for you.
Yes,
Scheduling
that would be a
permits,
great
and if they
match.
let us.
Ooh.
We'll see.
Still working on my smack talk.
Yeah, fourth right there.
Yeah.
No more tags, guys.
Growl,
No more tags.
Growl, everybody.
Interview's over.
It's growl.
And we are back with
Look
the
at all
still
that
champions,
beautiful gold.
The Shirewolves. Ladies, I mean, what an incredible match. You guys have now defended the titles twice. And, I mean, just walking you guys through that match, critically acclaimed, obviously, no slouches. The first round, you guys were actually down. And I feel like, I've watched you both progress so much as competitors that, you would have probably gotten in your heads previously. But, this is a whole new Shirewolves. And I say that every time I see you guys play together because your chemistry as a team just keeps growing and growing. Second round, obviously, that steal was huge. Absolutely huge. How are you feeling when you made that pull?
Oh, very good. I was just talking to Rachel before we started rolling, and I knew where their minds were. I knew what they were trying to do because it's a famous bit of film history, but that E.T. and the Thing came out the same year, and America collectively chose the friendly alien and not the vicious, murderous alien.
Who would've?
Oh, yeah. But it also is a very famous piece of trivia that two sci-fi classics, The Thing and Blade Runner, came out on the same day, and both flopped at the time. So I knew where their head was at. But, I mean, I do appreciate what you said earlier about, the miss in round one. Because I think that's something Rachel and I have talked about. We really are working on not
Blade
letting that
Runner
stuff
for that
get to
matter.
us.
You have to play one question at a time.
Yes.
And if
Have you
miss
seen Blade
something,
Runner?
we've both in the past
Don't want to.
let
Get on
that
it.
bother us.
Yep.
And
Get
therefore you're
on
not
it.
concentrating
It's
on the
great.
next question, and maybe you miss that one. And then it snowballs.
If only you can
and
see
you
the
get into
sequel.
your own head. And, both being up there side
I
by
have a
side
thing
and
about
talking those
cyborgs,
kinds
and I
of things
consider the
through, we both
replicants to be
learned that
cyborgs,
you
so I
can't
won't
let
watch
that
it.
happen, and you have to move on.
In round 3, obviously, Clark hits something that she knows. And then speed round.
Rachel,
you were on fire.
She
I
killed
think
it.
it's your hands are burning.
You're so
I
good.
figured it out. I don't know. I'm notoriously terrible
Yeah.
at the speed round.
Nope.
But this time,
Went well.
just, I don't know.
And the speed round obviously didn't go Bib's way. And that was, that's one of those challenging moments where you're like, well, if you didn't agree with what was happening, speak up in the moment and don't wait until after the fact,
That's the other thing about this. The more you play, the more you realize that, honestly, Bibiani probably knows more movie trivia than the rest of us. I honestly think that he's a walking encyclopedia with this stuff. But this game is a game. It's not just about the trivia. You can't get in your head. You have to know about your JTE rules. You have to know about your challenges. You have to know about your options. And, I think if that had been us,
I
we
would
would
have
have
challenged
challenged
Heartbeat.
and
That was
hopefully
my,
gotten a new question.
I was sitting there going, nope, you challenge that. That is but this is how I think that we are really trying to play the game.
That's
something
important.
that you guys have totally
Very important.
I've watched you grow because before
I'm
you
just
both
gonna
were
keep
obviously
nodding.
monsters with movie trivia, but the strategy has increased
Until
so
your
much
neck
with how the
gets
two
a
of you play
hernia or
the game
something.
that I mean that even when you aren't having your
Probably
strongest
will.
day trivia wise, that's just going to be something that people are going to come up against you guys and they just aren't going to be ready for.
Yeah, we talk a lot about strategy. Yeah. We really do. We talk a lot about strategy going into the match, but also in between.
During the match.
Yeah.
We talk between every round.
Yep.
I don't know if the cameras are on us, but we're always, what just happened? Okay, we're down by this. We're up by this.
Where are we at? How do
Where's
we
your
feel?
head? We communicate
say,
and
Case,
we
you and I have
figure it
done
out
that a
as
few
we
times.
go, but it's always as a team
Yes.
and it's always knowing all the pieces of the game.
Yep.
You have to keep that in mind.
So all your accolades aside, obviously, and congratulations on today. We are still looking ahead, obviously,
Yep.
to April 13th in Chicago because that's obviously a big match coming up between Who's the Boss and the Odd Couple, your former teammate, Mark Andreyko, with the Fife Club. Now, I know would it be weird to have to face Mark, or do you want to face Who's the Boss again? Like, I'm sure there's a lot of emotions
We're
going
big
into this.
fans of Mark.
Always. I mean, Five Club had 2018. We will always have that. We will always, be rooting for Mark, except when he plays us. But, that's a formidable team. And I honestly think that match in Chicago is going to be a barn burner.
Yeah.
We will be watching live from here, taking notes and doing our due diligence. But we will be ready for either one of those teams. But I have gone on record saying that I think rematches are fun. I think beating Ben Bateman is fun. We do it often. Yeah, we have done it before, so we'd be eager to do it again.
Starting to like
Absolutely.
Ben.
Well, congratulations again today, ladies, on another win. Wow, 2019, maybe
Just
the
when
next
Case
year
is
for the
starting to like
Shirewolves.
Ben.
We'll have to see.
Thank you.
No, I love the guy.
All right, like as
So
you
I'm
see,
just not going to say anything.
Obviously, critically acclaimed, a little bummed out there too. William
There's
didn't think
nothing
that
to say. They're right.
He
And
didn't hear.
He might have a case.
He didn't hear me say beast. I'm loud in the
I said
studio
it wrong.
too. I understand that.
He might have me in court. I get it.
Well, either way, it comes down to the fact that the Shirewolves played
The trial of Ken
really
Knapsack.
strong. They found themselves down. They came back. The hurt the critically acclaimed for sure. And it's a tough loss. William Bibiani is one of the most passionate people that we have in this league. He's the managing editor of TriviaSD.com. He cares about this league. He really wants to. So you understand why he was bummed. But then you hear the Shirewolves. These women right now, Rachel Cushing already is making a play for Player of the Year. I mean, she's already. We're a month and a half into it. The teams of the Shirewolf already coming back in. They have 6 straight victories, 2 title defenses, and now they stare down that potential winner in Chicago. That's going to be a fight.
We haven't built a physical Hall of Fame yet for the Schmoedown, but there's going to be an entire wing to the Shirewolves. You're just going to have to enter and look at all their accomplishments because this was impressive. But 33 points in a losing effort for critically acclaimed.
That's good.
No one's going to write off this
Oh,
team
yeah.
as the battle for the titles will obviously go on.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. So
Yeah, they had a rough round too, so get better at your strength, and they need to get better at speed round, because that's definitely...
And Rachel said it before on Schmoedown Rundown, and she said it again too.
Or
they
otherwise,
want to take out Who's the Boss again, and they know Who's the Boss
strong for you,
wants
then
to
you
take
have to
them
make
out. So
sure
it's going to be
that
that
for
little
speed
rivalry
round,
sitting there, but
you have to have had a
Couple's not going
perfect
to let that
game
happen, and I
going
know
into
Roxy
it if you
Stryer
got
has
a
other words
prayer.
about it too. So we are very excited here. What a battle between a great championship match between critically acclaimed, who has absolutely no. They should not hang their head low at all, because that was an absolutely great performance from them. They came back after being down 7, and now we still have the champions, Clark Wolf, Rachel Cushing. Guys, go on over to TriviaSD.com. Check out articles every day over there. Make sure you join the Patreon. You can download episodes of this show on audio. Go to Apple Podcasts. Go to Spotify. It helps tremendously. You're not part of the Patreon. You can't be part of the Patreon. Well, do us a favor and go download, because guess what? It's free. Go and listen. Test yourself. Try to get new people involved by just, hey, can you get this right? Wait, what's that show you're listening to? Audio works. Do it. Right, Ken?
Audio does work. I'm a fan of audio. That's why I love headphones, Christian. But more than anything, I love the Movie Trivia Schmoedown, and thank you for all your support. Spread the word, like he said.
All right, guys, so thank you. And once again, we're going to be in your city sooner or later, so go on and get those tickets to Schmoedown.
Not in my city.
You want to check out the free-for-all. That is
Uh-huh.
March 23rd.
Give it 2 years.
And
Give it
check
2
us
years,
out.
Case.
40 competitors
European tour.
for
Let's
the grand
make-
prize
let's
of
make
any
it
title
happen.
that they want. Last person standing. Just mentioned the April 13th Chicago match. Not only Who's the Boss versus Odd Couple, Mr. Alex Damon, Star Wars Explained himself, puts his title on the line, and it goes down during Star Wars Celebration. And finally, May 18th in Houston at the Booker T Arena, we are going to have the Battle of Action.
That's going to be awesome.
Andrew Guy, Ben Bateman in the main event, going head-to-head with a stipulation that if Ben Bateman loses, he does not get into the Ultimate Schmoedown Singles Tournament, and if Andrew Guy loses, then Bateman gets to pick Andrew Guy's next singles match. All right, so with that, that's the Pit Boss, Ken Knapsack. Watch Inside Schmoedown every Monday. I'm Christian Harloff, and we will see you next time.
There's a lot left. Roca!
Oh, what's up?
The champ.
Want to talk to you for a minute if you got time. We've got time for you, brother.
How you doing? How you been?
Doing good. I'm feeling great. Our horsemen are doing well. Riley's doing good. You're a 3-time champion. We're feeling our mojo again as a tag team. It's a good year for the horsemen.
We're having a great year. And that's something I want to throw by you.
Okay.
I've been doing some thinking. you're right. Horsemen are doing great.
Yeah.
Thinking about some ideas, ways that we can sort of shake things up, do something different.
Okay.
We need a couple new members.
We do.
So
You got somebody in mind?
Yeah, I do actually. I had a couple thoughts.
Okay.
I was talking to Riley.
Right.
And
Love that guy.
I was thinking about Bateman.
Again.
First Riley, now you. Why are we talking about Bateman in
This
this
is good.
I know, I get it, John. Just hear me out, all right? He's having a good year. Horsemen are having a good year. He and Riley, they're a good team. They already played the team's title.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to play for another. If they win that, that's 2 more belts in the Horsemen. That means if I got the singles belt or you got the singles belt and they got a belt, that's 3 belts for the 4 of us, John. And he's saying, oh, I'm reformed, and I know you can't trust him. I can't trust him either. If he's lying, we kick his ass out of here, John. He's gone. And then it's me, you, and Riley. We're right back to where we started. But he's got no Riley. He's got no us. He's got no Guy. He's going to be alone. He's going to be crippled. Plus, John, and this is a big personal thing for me, if Ben Bateman joins the Horsemen, that is going to drive Andrew.
Yes.
That's a good sales pitch.
Damn, Dan, this is a new side of you. They call you dangerous. This is more vicious, Dan Merle. I haven't seen this color on you ever.
We've been playing each other a lot of years.
Yeah.
I like the game, but I like to strategize too. I'm not telling you what to do. I know there's a lot of history. Just think about it. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, please.
Oh.
That is the type of damn it one says when they realize he's right.
Yeah. Because,
Okay.
look, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, oh my God. You want to talk about the Horsemen officially being my favorite faction? This is how you make it happen. You get the one member of the Schmoedown who, for the longest time, he was just drunk Hayden Christensen to me, and I hated it. But now, I've been coming around on him, and this is the final way to make that happen. So,
Yeah, and I have to say, as a longtime Ben fan, I still am. Despite of what happened, I still like the guy a lot. And this would definitely make the Horsemen one of my favorite factions. I already think that Merle, Riley, and Roka are a great faction. Just those 3. But yeah, it's the 4 Horsemen, not the 3. So get Bateman in there, make it happen, and that faction will be awesome. So that will be something to look out for.
absolutely. Nico.
I'm still waiting for a horsewoman to get in the mix, but for the time being, Bateman, I feel like this, ever since Who's the Boss started getting along like halfway through the tournament last year, it was a foregone conclusion that he was somehow going to find his way into the group if he kept on winning. And so far he has done that. He has kept on winning, so it felt like this was inevitable.
And that's my thought exactly too. Is like, the storyline is just too damn natural. This is where it has to go. Plus, like Dan said, it'll drive Guy up the damn wall, and that'll make me the happiest son of a bitch ever because, Andrew, you're going down, baby. Mr. Hot Shots and your shades and your fancy suits. You're going down. In fact, you know what? Bateman, if you watch this, I want you to do me a favor. When you kick Guy's ass, I want you to name me that next opponent, and I'll happily take Andrew to school.
And since you're in a wrestling ring, please hit a stunner.
Ah, there we go. Yes. All right. So no, real talk. Final thoughts. Okay. Well, first off, do we have any final thoughts about the Inner Geekdom match?
No.
I do.
I said my piece.
All right, Nico, make it quick, please.
I feel like it really just came down to the bright lights got the better of them because, Emily seemed nervous when she got in there. Then she got that first point, and then all of a sudden Winston started to struggle, and it was starting to affect him a great deal. I feel like it's a matter of the mental game won out on both of them, and just one of them happened to do better than the other in the end. The questions were pretty damn difficult, too, for a debut match. And I've been there, so I understand what they're going through. We can always say, like, Study up. For all we know, they probably were. And they were probably studying pretty damn hard, too. And sometimes just the bright lights, showtime, it gets to you. So I'm going to give these two the benefit of the doubt, and I feel like maybe the next time they get in the ring, it will be better performances from both of them. I feel like it was just a matter of the moment got the better of them.
It's possible. I mean, look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That match was not good by any stretch, from an accuracy standpoint, from a point scoring standpoint. It was interesting to see Emily go from scoring as low as she did in the first round to eventually coming out with a TKO, but that's because Winston.
That was because Winston just missed.
Utterly crapped the bed in round 2. So, and again, I'm not saying it's to rag on anyone, but and I'm not. And look, and I get it. When you live in an area like Los Angeles, you are working nonstop. You barely have time for sleep. You barely have time to eat. But if it's possible, both of you, because I want to see both of them back, but I also want to see them put in a little more effort. I want to see them, come back stronger as stronger players. So, please, just, I'm not demanding anything, but I'm asking you guys, if it's possible, if you have a little bit of time between now and your next matches, do a little studying. And it's a miracle what that will do for you as competitors. Hell, Case and I can certainly attest to that for our performances in the fan leagues. Studying helps a lot.
No, studying didn't help me for my title matches.
Well, for the title match, sure, but for everything else, studying helped. But let's move on to the creme de la creme, which, it was just that round 2. It really screwed Critically Acclaimed. Because otherwise this match would have been way closer. And that's why I don't feel quite as satisfied as I should. Like, Case, are you feeling similarly, or?
No, I was not really happy with the result of that match. Also, I'm just really not feeling well. The coughing is taking its toll on me, and just sitting here in front of a camera reacting to a match, I feel I can't do it. So I apologize for that. But it's the reality of the situation. I'm literally sick. So I was just also after that first match, it just put me in a down mood, and I didn't really recover from it, it seems. So the match was good, but I couldn't really enjoy it, and I'm sad that I couldn't, because I think that in different circumstances I probably would have enjoyed the match a lot more. I was just not able to today, so that's all I can really say.
Well, that's fair, man. And I, obviously Nico and I will both hope you have a speedy recovery, and that hopefully by the end of this week you're back in good form, and but still. And I thank you for at least trying to get through this match, to get through this long video today.
Yes.
So, but Nico, your final thoughts on the Shirewolves' second defense?
Jeez, you guys are bringing me down. Like, I'm perfectly satisfied.
We're not trying to.
The final result was 35-32. My team won, so that helps.
33.
No, the final score was 35.
33.
33, not 32.
Oh, okay. All right.
Here, just prove it so that way the comment section can make sure that you're right. We're right.
I'm doing the math in my head now. Yes, that was the score.
Yeah.
So, okay. But, so, I'm happy because the Shirewolves continue to prove that they are a dominant force in this league. And no matter how much knowledge you have, they said it themselves, no matter how much knowledge you have in terms of movie trivia, knowledge of how to play the game, knowledge of how to maneuver your way through the movie trivia Schmoedown pays equally, if not greater, dividends towards victory. And they've been at this for a long time. They have championship experience in spades. They know how to play. And John Mariano's daughters are celebrating right now. Chris Clark is crying in a shower right now. And listen, I'm gonna give some advice that I don't think anyone has ever thought of in regards to championship matches. Look at your buzzer when you push it. If it turns green, that means it's you who's supposed to answer the question. Like if you're not hearing the name, look to see if your buzzer turns green, because that'll also play a big role in how you perform in that round. Like you can't just wait for Christian to say your name all the time. You're on a clock, so you got to be aware of all your surroundings. That includes knowing what color your buzzer has just turned when you push it.
Fair point. And you know, I'm not even gonna hide it, because you know, as I've said many times on record, Critically Acclaimed is one of my favorite podcasts ever. Yeah, I'm bummed they didn't do better. But also, here's another piece of advice I think I might have to give. Honestly, in a championship match, don't go for your strength, because you want to know what's gonna happen. Those questions are
gonna be tough.
extra tough. So maybe next time, guys, because look, as I also said at the beginning of this video, they'll be back for the belts. Trust me. You know, yeah, they'll probably fight the loser of Who's the Boss and Odd Couple, and they'll smoke them. They'll smoke them. Whoever it is.
Not Who's the Boss, but the Odd Couple.
Potentially. Well, okay. And again, this is my fanboying out for just 2 seconds here. And I won't apologize for it, because when they come back, yes, they will very likely win the belts. Yeah, Nico, you just...
Come on, the Shirewolves are, again, they're on a roll right now. I don't see anyone breaking that roll.
But all I'm saying is...
Nothing lasts forever.
Nothing lasts forever. Which, oh God, which James Bond song is that?
That's not a James Bond song.
Oh, okay. I thought it was. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this incredibly long reaction. We certainly had a fun time. Well, for as long as we were physically capable of doing so.
Yes.
Again, Case, please get well soon.
I hope so.
But please give it a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel for more great content. Please check out our Star Wars Resistance recap show, which just ended this week. I have to wait for season 2 now. And stay tuned to this week for our live show, the Who Cares Anyway podcast. Case, where can the good folks find you online?
Well, you mentioned that our Resistance reviews ended, but we're going to start in less than a month with Game of Thrones reviews, which I'm going to host because I'm not entirely sure if Chris will actually make it watching the entire show before then. I wish him good luck with that. So look out for that at least. Otherwise, you can find me hopefully hosting Schmoedown reactions soon again. Otherwise, here in my room and in my bed, trying to sick this out. Also, Twitter at Dutch Movie Guy, Letterboxd, and Facebook Case Cornelis, and on Multiplex competing in various matches.
Absolutely. Nico, where can the good folks find you online?
Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Nico Suave Regoli. That's NicoSuaveRegoli. Right here on Dedicated to Art and all the places these two gentlemen have said or will say. Multiplex Entertainment, that's the name of the Facebook group and the YouTube channel. The Twitter is at MultiplexYT. The Instagram is Multiplex Entertainment Network. And the T-Pump is just Multiplex Bar Awesome Shirts. Zaddy Smith. By the way, happy birthday, Zad. He and I host a weekly Arrowverse discussion show called Crisis on Earthplex every Wednesday starting between 9 and 11 p.m. Eastern. And finally, Combat Wrestling Network is the name of the YouTube channel. Combat Wrestling Trivia is the name of the Facebook group. And the poorly made Twitter account is at Combat Wrestling, the number
This
2.
will always crack me up.
There's no letter G in there, but if you like wrestling trivia, if you like professional wrestling as a whole, come join all of those things, if not just one of them, and we'll get you a match in either the heavyweight or middleweight division, and we'll have a good time.
All right. And you guys can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Stardust, and Letterboxd at Skywalker Dome. And you guys can follow this very channel on Twitter and Instagram at D2A Channel. Please like our Facebook page. And, yeah, as Case said, Game of Thrones recap coming for the final 6 episodes. Very excited. Also very sad. Because the show is not running long enough. I'm kidding.
Oh, shut up.
I'm kidding. All right. So, from everybody here at Dedicated Arts, you guys know what to do. Take care!
Yeah!